What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Thought Crimes. This is a blackout stream. There's been a lot of controversy with people online talking about hip hop, the death of hip hop. Some people saying it's all a publicity stunt. People lying, saying, hip hop is over when it really isn't. And I'm just going to give my perspective on all of this. What's up, Black in the building? Let's see who else is in the building before I start talking. What's up, Awaken Now? A nice name as well. JK, what's up? Let's see who else coming in before I begin. Sean in the building, what's up? I love your avatar, by the way. Simple but funny. What's up, Rando? What's up, Nine? See who else come in before I begin, because I got a lot to say on this.
What happened?
Oh, I'm about to talk about the pop being killed and dead. Just giving shout outs before I begin.
They've been saying it was dead.
Yep. Well, I said it a long time ago. What's up, Haven, all the way from the UK? What's up, Real? Noah, what's up? Stars, what's up? Look at Larry June and Currency. Oh, we're going to get into it. Just give him a moment. Give us a moment. Give me a moment.
Been professional.
We could always double back around and be professional. But I really want to say something on this. Outsider, what's up? If the media of hip hop is a reflection of what hip hop is, maybe it's time. What's up? Restoring the feeling. What's up? 574. What's up? 693. What's up? Jackie in the building. We're gonna get started soon. Their type of hip hop is that for real. Oh, I got a lot. Oh, there's a lot to break down here. There's a lot to break down here. This is just going to be part one. This is just the blackout stream version, but there's a lot to talk about on this one. This is
blackout trilogy.
No, the rest of them
gonna be doing the blackout trilogy.
The rest of them going to be professional. We got Setting here said we blaming Nicki for the decline of hip hop, not necessarily the artist, but her antics, and Kanye too. Oh, it was way more than just them. I'm sorry, it's most of them, and I'm gonna break it down each reason of what has helped to destroy hip hop. Now, hip hop can always have a rebirth. What's up, Final? But we gotta be really honest here. It looked like in this tag. Also, Prince, can you monetize this blackout stream for me? Because I forgot to do that, and I can't do it right now on the phone. People may want to do super chats. Stormy, what's up? I know, I love y'all. I love you too. Record companies, love the thumbnail, laughing out loud. Yeah, Paul Mooney. All right, let's get into it. The shucking and jiving is definitely the number one reason. When you have Dawn Richards saying that her and another black female was brought to Jimmy Iovine, and Jimmy Iovine called them ugly, that is a part of killing hip hop. When you have our icons and legends in the game bringing weirdos like Milo Yiannopoulos into music like Yeti, that is killing hip hop. People who are making music videos where useless people like Neon are video. What does Neon has to do with rap music and hip hop culture? That helped kill hip hop and rap music. You have a bunch of weirdo people that are either running hip hop behind the scene, brought up into the hip hop scene by icons and legends in our space, giving them a pass. There was once a time in hip hop you would never have seen Milo Yiannopoulos in hip hop. He's a weirdo. He got in trouble. Didn't he get in trouble with talking about? He tried to explain why being a pedo was a positive thing. That is who we let into hip hop. That is literally who we let into hip hop. And then y'all wondering what the hell is happening to the culture. Adam 22 is in hip hop. Like, what are we scratching our heads for? Now, what I do love about Nas is Nas has tried to atone for the few sins that he has committed. And one of the biggest sins was saying Gwyneth Paltrow could say the N-word. Prince and I talked about this on our Patreon already, where we talked about some of our greatest artist verses during the Jay-Z's Magnum Carter run were saying the weirdest and stupidest shit at the time in our culture. Talk about Gwyneth Paltrow could say the N-word. Again, I forgive you, Nas, because you are doing the damn thing with Mass Appeal, giving us great, legendary albums. So I forgive him. But we still have to break this down. We have to open up the fucking crates. Let's not act brand new. Again, some of the most gifted people in hip-hop have had an un-hip-hop moment or have brought in poisonous elements that has become corrosive and destroying us from the inside out. If we're being honest. Twerk Molly, 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 and all this other stuff. There's used to be a time in hip-hop where we were going platinum, not by somebody needing to be with Miley or Katy Perry or whatever. All you needed was a dope R&B artist. And maybe a dope R&B artist that also cross over into pop. Like, Janet Jackson is cool. So, you doing Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson, okay. Or if you're doing 411 and, you got someone like Mary J. Blige. Okay. Oh, you got someone like Mariah Carey that loves and respects hip hop and she's a talented artist herself. All right. But we went from that to, I need to feature, you need to be on Miley. I need to be with Taylor Swift. I need to be with, y'all made us corny, dried up, disingenuous, money, greedy, worshiping the golden calf morons. That is what we did to hip hop. That is what we've done. We run for, and then people ran for money, all just to lead the entire genre to a dead end. Let's be honest about that. We got to be honest about that. Like, we got corny commentators in hip hop, people putting it in, and people who it just don't fit the energy. And hip hop and rap music has gone to an extreme where we for the last 15 years have brought in alt writers. A lot of the people who have helped create hip hop in a beautiful way, either again has had a moment of not being hip hop, or they've led mass campaigns that has destroyed the culture. And we got to be honest with that. Dre 7, what's up? Of course, these weirdo executives are not helpful. Like the executives, I know, hate him or love him. He also has committed some hip hop sins himself when he gave a pass to Iggy. Iggy, you could be a part of the culture, but you criticizing black women and bitch bad, but you're going to let a fake black woman get a pass. You could be a part of the culture. But anyway, to get back to the execs, they did unfairly blackball Lupe Fiasco. So yes, it's a mixture. Of course, it's a mixture of the execs. These execs are people who either are not from the culture or from the culture and trying to appease the execs that are not from where we are.
Also, y'all gotta keep in mind when you empower weirdos, even the talented ones, and Lupe is a very gifted and talented person, but he's a weirdo. So you empowering low self-esteem people, and it's not the first time. That's actually how rock and roll slid out of black people's hands. Yeah,
I gotta put on people. I gotta do favors for my executive. I gotta show Leo Cohen how to do a 360 deal. And Jen, you also said it here too. All the scamming and stealing cats kill mainstream hip hop. If you ever wrote for somebody who's less talented than you, you helped kill. If you ghostwritten for lames, you are a part of destroying hip hop. If you have ever put on weirdos because you thought it would give you more money at the expense of the art, you are a part to blame. Everybody running around here recently acting like, oh, they're so like perfect. No, none of us are perfect, but we gotta really call it an ace to ace. Like even Tyler the Creator, recent music, like I said, his last three albums, but he was a part of bringing doo-doo shit into rap music. All that edginess, all that sucking white balls, all of that. Even when people didn't check Eminem, you can like Eminem's music, and he's tried as well to make amends for his sins. But y'all should have been checked him for that Lauryn Hill shit when he was running around saying Lauryn Hill was racist. She don't got no damn cracker tapes. You don't see Lauryn Hill having tapes talk about Whitey this and Whitey that. He had Moon Cricket tapes and he was calling Lauryn Hill racist. Yes, again, he tries to make amends for certain things now, but the damage still done. And she got blackballed. And then people be like, oh, the bitch only did one album. First of all, no. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was one of the most important hip-hop albums ever made, number one. Number two, the Fugees, Diamond. What we talking about? The Score. You know, damn well, ain't nobody will be looking at that group without Lauryn Hill. And of course, Wyclef, because he plays a lot of different instruments and different things like that. So I'm not going to undercut Wyclef. So people got to be real. And every little thing that people try to give a pass to because they like someone and they didn't want to be honest. Like, come on now. I would want my audience to be honest with me. None of us are perfect. Shit, I may be like, you know what? I may think about it. Nah, Sin. I think that's back. I don't think that's good look for hip hop. All right, I'll take y'all. Listen. But if you ass kissing and you never ever call out anything, have a conversation with someone, and everything gets a pass because you like their music or you like their album or you whatever you like, this is how shit piles up.
Well, even that mindset, what you said about, I want to stop on the Lauryn Hill thing. This is very important. Okay, you see when people say the bitch only got one album, right? So then they don't include her successful history with the group, the Fugees. They sold over 17 million records, right? The Score is a hip hop classic, right? To me, it's up there with Illmatic, all right? But then you notice when we go to Nas, we go all the way back to the main source with him. People even talk about his verse. I'm Steven Spielberg. I went to hell for killing Jesus. Everybody's know we got a contextual. They even go all the way back when he was freestyling in front of Roxanne. Lauryn Hill, they're like, nah, we just count the one album. Move on, bitch. Neo soul, bitch. We got to move on. Those type of unintelligent factors is what has killed the whole hip hop energy. They have been going on for a long time. You know, that's why I said, yeah, we can cry about Eminem, but I do feel Eminem is the industry's karma, the black niggas' karma, and I do feel Drake is as well. Whether you like Drake or not, right? Because you can't tell me in one breath that writing actually means something. And even respectfully, people, they classify Eazy-E as a style. He's one of the earlier vibe artists, and we never put Eazy in the same space as Big L, right? So we can understand that. But somehow, with the millennials, we got Drake going against Kendrick, Drake going against Crit.
We got the Cardi B thing as well. We got
the Cardi B thing. So then Drake don't write.
We got alt writers in hip hop media calling the shots.
So let's be real, y'all. The millennial era, aside from what we saw with Kendrick and the J. Cole's and the Wale, look how they did our boy Wale. Yeah, he got his own issues, right? But Wale, y'all, look, I'm gonna be real. Y'all was fairer to people that have raped women. Let's be real. So what? He's a dark-skinned, emotional nigga from DC or PG Lane, wherever the PG County, wherever he from, right?
Did you fix that?
Yeah, it's fixed.
Thank you.
So the reason why I'm bringing this up, there's a huge segment of millennial hip-hop not onto us, it's what was thrust onto us, scams. That's a scamming era.
Yeah, Jen,
it's a scamming era, scam hop.
When Jen brought up scammers and people being unoriginal, y'all are it's everyone. It's the execs, is the media pundits. They're all ass. People be stealing from each other non-fucking stops. They steal bars from each other. They steal talking points from other media heads and platforms from each other. They steal ideas, run to their white masters and bosses, trying to steal ideas from other black people to rub white nuts. You got people writing bars for people who are less talented than them. You got, it's across the damn board. People trying to act brand new. Hip hop been dying rap music for a long time. For a long time. Ever since people started put that Confederate flag patch, them KKK robes on, you just accelerated the death.
And also before that too, look, I don't believe in bitches rapping. Boom, hip hop dead.
Dwan B in the building. What's up?
Shut up, DB. What's good with you, man? It's dead. Cause you ain't got that in no other genre. There's sexism, there's all the misogyny shit that goes on. I bring this up for a reason, players and playheads. See, if you tell me I don't believe in women rapping or bitches don't rap, I told you, I always say, I use the example of Lord Jamar telling Rod Digger to her face. She has a classic on her own, Dirty Harriet. It's not a group assisted album. Dirty Harriet from track A to track Z, classic, right? You can sit there as another musician. And some of the earlier rappers and some of these rappers today, some of them actually play instruments. They play music. So you look at another musician's face and you're like, I don't believe in your craft because you're a bitch.
Right.
You got to think about that.
And like what is it? Yo, Lauryn Hill, you're a racist, even though you never said nothing racist, but you're a racist. Eminem, Moon Crickets, you get to stay. Fuck Lauryn Hill. She only did one album. Oh, Amber Rose, she hip hop. Bald-headed bitch, she hip hop because she side piece. She'll pass around in the industry. Then y'all shocked when she doing rap videos where black people getting lynched. That's a perfect example of bullshit. And people they choose hip hop based off of their sexual desires, based off of who they've passed around, based off of what white exec they want to make happy, based off of trying to kick out anybody who's talented, stealing constantly from each other. It goes on and on and on.
They're not showing credit, and then on top of that, they hate being black. Dog, what am I supposed to do with a genre like that? What am I supposed to do with some shit like that? Nigga, we can't be friends. Why? You don't like being black. I can't be your friend. Because I'm comfortable with my blackness, whether it's Chi-Town blackness, ATLian blackness, Alabama blackness, whatever it is, Louisiana blackness, all right? Bay Area, LA blackness, whatever blackness it is, New York nigga blackness. I can't be friends with you because you don't like being black. And Sin and I, we've talked to some of these rappers. Some of these boys got some real psychological problems. We looked at each other. We said, we see how it got away from y'all.
They be on the phone. They gossip about each other. They spread rumors about each other. They destroy each other. Most of the information that is negative towards a hip hop person, other hip hop people were a part of tearing that person down. That whole situation that happened to Lauryn Hill was an inside job. And the reason why I keep harping on Lauryn Hill is because it's very important she didn't do anything. That's something very important. For people to say you're racist and for a white boy with bleach blonde hair to run around with Moon Cricket tapes and saying you're racist and you don't have no song saying white pinky dick or, a hunky tonk, none of that. But he got Moon Crickets and he's going on all the radio stations saying you're racist. That's an inside job. And nobody stood up for her. So you got people in hip hop who got evicted out of our culture by doing nothing offensive to black people. Meanwhile, you got all the people who've been offensive towards us. They get to stay. They get to put their feet up in the air, stinky ass feet, do whatever they want.
And guess what? They don't have to be black. Lil Pump and Tekashi. That's what you get. Iggy
Tekashi
Azalea.
is a mutant.
Yo, what are you supposed to say to that though?
You got
You know,
my
because if you ask it, yo, how do we physically get here? Then I have to understand mentally, like, look at the stuff said Dame Dash was doing behind the scenes. A lot of the stuff, remember, a lot of the stuff that has been showcasing in the millennial eras, quietly behind the scenes, a lot of industry niggas from the 90s was already doing and having those conversations.
Even like Elliot Wilson when he said, yo, hip hop is the commentary is boring because y'all all try to blackball people who are funnier than y'all. Okay? Bro. Y'all are the biggest haters in media and commentary and music and so on and so forth. Even when who brought this dirty bottom into hip hop? Milo. Thanks, Ye. Black people aren't cool anymore, and everyone is sick of rap and hip hop, which have been stuck in a creative rut for years, perhaps decades. What's next? What's next is that you shouldn't be in here talking with your pedo lips. Milo advocated for religious priests and adults to have inappropriate relationships with children, which he was crying about and said, oh, because I was touched, you know, I was trying to rationalize it, blah, 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 right? Who brought this retard into hip hop? That's what I said. Some of the people who've made beautiful music and hip hop and rap music, they have also been some of the people who have tried to destroy hip hop and brought disgusting practices. So
that's what he said. So what did he say? He said, say that again. I had to run out.
Let me get back to it. It's also on
Don B, man, this is going to be a part of our conversation. We're going to have to link up with you, man. We got to link up, so we're going to set something aside for that. I want to definitely chop it up with him about this, too.
It's on our Patreon. Okay. He got Nero. No, fucking
that sounds about all right. Yeah, if y'all know the history of Nero and them little kids.
Black people aren't cool anymore, and everyone is sick of rap and hip-hop, which have been stuck in a creative rut for years, perhaps decades. What's next? Okay. What's next is your pedo lips shouldn't even have been over here.
Look, I would rather... Let me tell y'all something. I'd rather this shit fall off the charts and we continue to get beautiful projects like Starline, Che Noir, what we've been getting with Jid. I'm keeping it real with you. I'm so tired of the post Nelly drill era, drill team era. I'm sick of the drill music.
And I'm sick of these commentators that were brought into rap music. That's very important. This makes us look so weak that we had any fucking rapper bring these fucking degenerate retards into our culture. Well, we shouldn't have like in 1995, would this ugly motherfucker even be?
Kanye West wouldn't be. This form of Kanye West. Fuck this motherfucker. The Kanye's black ass wouldn't make it. Ain't no real healthy social peer pressure.
R&B is thriving. I'm happy about that. But go ahead, continue on what you're saying.
All right. So it need to fall off. Get your asses off the charts. Y'all ain't doing nothing with it anyway. Y'all doing guest features, bigging up Nick Fuentes. Here come Milo. We talked about this 5, 6, 7 years ago. We said y'all better look out. It's gonna shut the gates down.
Yeah, we did the alt-right and what was it called? The alt-right and the alt-left presence in hip hop. And let me see what year we did that.
So look, listen, it needs to happen. We got to move on. All right. Because the more come uncool, the more of the other folks can get out of our business. That's how I look at it. It needs to reset. They ain't doing nothing with it. All right. And it's been a long time. Like even with Elliot Wilson, like talking about hip hop commentaries.
8 years ago, 2017.
Venus. All right. They talking about hip hop commentaries boring. No, Sin is right. I'm telling you. One thing about them, very insecure. Anybody that's a shining star. See, what we did, not us. You know, I don't care like that. If somebody's funny, they funny. I don't have no self-esteem issues when it comes to somebody displaying their God-given ability. If they're hilarious, they're hilarious. If they can rhyme, they can rhyme. If they're beautiful, they're beautiful. If they're a handsome dude, they're a handsome dude. I can't tell how many guys they be like hating on the guy. I'm like, bro, that might be why he came back to just look like this. To look like a damn statue. However, though, it's funny, though, what we got is a bunch of star killers, right? You used to have this thing called like dream shatterers or dream fuckers, but you got star killers in hip hop. You got star killers behind the scenes. Anybody that has a bright star, they gravitate towards them, but they act like Galactus. I need to consume this planet here, right?
Look how many people get clout if they kill somebody in rap. Yeah, I killed Pop Smoke, you know. What y'all gonna do about it?
Yeah, think about it. Because Orlando Anderson was interviewed by Dateline, I believe, right? Back in the day. Now people just they want to hang out with the killer of a shooter, of a rapper. You know, what they were doing with Pop Smoke's killers was ridiculous. But again, those are validated platforms behind the scenes, right?
And also music is a community thing. I am so sick and tired of people who want to be the only one. There's no only one when it comes to fucking music. You don't get a renaissance with having one fucking person. You get a renaissance when you get multiple people who are at the top of their game out there making beautiful music, making beautiful art, and making beautiful culture. That's another thing people got to stop doing. Hip hop is a community. It is not one person. I do not want to champion one person. I like to see multiple black doing a great job in hip hop. I am not a stan for one fucking celebrity or one fucking artist in hip hop music. It is not one only Neo. It is a community.
Well, yeah, I mean, y'all can have it all y'all want, but it's boring. And then y'all gonna have to try to protect your favorite from being beat publicly because resentment sets in. Resentment. But can't talk, player. We already know if anybody shine on you, you attempt with the weakened power that you don't have. You try to shut their power down. Hip hop is dead. You know why? Look at our conversation with Lupe fucking Fiasco. Nigga, I might as well have been talking to Chief Goddamn Keef. That nigga sounded stupid up there on that fucking microphone. Now that's supposed to be the supreme end of intelligence. The same thing with Lord Jamar. Supposed to be the supreme end. But you saying stupid shit. I don't believe in women rapping. Lupe Fiasco playing with the mute button trying to be cute because he don't want to lose a conversation debate. Nigga, I'm not freestyling you. Elliot Wilson talking about let's keep it real, keep it raw. All right, little nigga, when I roast your ass, why am I blocked? Don't care. Because you definitely wasn't one of my least favorite journalists back in the day. Let's be real. Hip-hop lost its spirit a long time ago. It stood for nothing.
And to add to that is also the gender warring in rap is disgustingly dumb. And it's funded by white people, and you look dumb doing it. Every time I see a black man or woman constantly bash each other 24/7, you look like a fucking moron. If you have bad romantic relationships, it's because your ass is choosing the wrong partners. What the fuck does that have to do with all black men or all black women? Stop being fucking lazy. And that's another thing too that I get sick and tired of. A music genre is never made by one gender. How dumb is that? Rock and roll music was made by both black men and women. Hip hop was made by both black men and women. Yes. Jazz was made by both black men and women. Listen, like come on now.
Disco was made by black men and women, and some black men that had on women's wigs. But y'all want to keep it real. Look, man, like everything you like about us is everything they resent about us in the industry. That's why that shit dead.
And also, we have people that we thought we respected. I remember when Tekashi came out. I'm glad y'all mentioned 6ix9ine. Years ago, we had Baby Bloods, like they called it. And I said, you know, Prince and I, we said, you know, that Tekashi is a fat little baby blood, right? Yeah, but, you know, real ones, they say, you know, he real. You had Jim Jones and other hip hop commentators lying, saying was the real deal. Like, get the fuck out of here. A fucking gimmick that was created by Elliot Grange, a Frankenstein experiment that some so-called hip-hop purists that we was talking to behind the scenes said, nah, he official.
Look, y'all. Man, I swear to God, bro. You acting like hip-hop. You know what hip-hop spirit is? Y'all remember the black nigga that was go ahead, Shirley. Go ahead. Hey, Shirley. Hey, Shirley. Hey, little white girl. That's hip hop right now. So I said, man, roll over these roaches.
Produce some of the dopest music. His dumb fat ass gonna be like, I make music for Desperate Housewives. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Hip hop dance movies and it's all white people as lead. Like even when Shock Value, the first one came out, I was like, oh, the person I was like, I'm feeling this. Then when he's leading the promo for a second one, yeah, my fans are Desperate Housewives. Nigga, are you out of your fucking?
I said, so you hated black people all this? Like, that's a no. I always used to bring up the Timberland thing because I'm trying to let y'all know if y'all have spoken to some of these folks. That is the spirit behind the scenes. Bro, I'm telling y'all, when I started up Thought Crimes, I'm talking to official niggas behind the scenes. They heard some of that. They was like, yeah, that. Do you know they were telling me like, well, how y'all gonna really get it going like that? This is before, because when she tell y'all about her back and forth with the Deuce and there's about 3 or 4 guys that are official I don't even speak to anymore. Because when you're trying to poly behind the scenes, politic with folks, you like, the ball ain't moving, but you don't know why. But then in the back of your head, you like, man, I wonder if this person's like a quiet Sambo. The nigga can dress, but he like a Sambo up under all that fly gear, right? He's like a Sambo with a nice fade and everything, right? But then it comes out, so we talking and, black women this and this, that, and third, and I had to hang up the phone. I got to close the jack on you. I don't even feel like debating. I'm tired of roasting grown-ass men, my personal opinion. So behind the scenes, you got guys that y'all don't even know the half of it. That's why I told y'all at the beginning. I said, no, a lot of white women have more power behind the scenes in hip-hop than a lot of the black male performers, and a lot more than the black women that are performing as well, just to let y'all know about that.
Just to add to what he's saying, we had a hip-hop platform who wanted to bring us in, brought our content to a white woman, and she said she didn't get it.
I don't understand.
So they like, I don't get it.
So now, wait a minute, hold on.
So she dumb,
you dumb,
and you dumb.
Because when you met us, damn, y'all on fire, y'all point, man, y'all funny. Then y'all go to then it's a memory swipe. Like, she's like, yeah, oh. And I'm talking to him and say, how you doing? Yo, why are you not speaking English no more? Y'all black, pro-black, y'all pro-black, y'all pro-black. I said, pro what, motherfucker?
We're pro-black because we don't want KKK robes in the genre. We're pro-black because we don't care what mediocre white people have to say about our stuff. Like, bro, like, shut up.
So let me tell you something. I said, wait a minute, hold on. So I said, having a high black self-esteem, that's pro. What do you? Because I know how you think. When you think pro-black, you think the pain. I'm black, y'all. I'm bliggity. I'm black. Because when they hear you have high confidence, self-esteem, and you happy about being black, they think about how bad the energy is. You being a happy black person appears to be Khalid Muhammad to them.
Also, talk about tell the white woman who she down. Tell them who she was. The white woman that they showed our stuff to.
She was the one that was the curator with Pimp C, and she wrote that book on them. Now, you don't get our shit, but you get pimping. And I love Chad's music. Just to keep it real with y'all, I don't listen to it every day as much as I used to. But you understand that, but you ain't understand us.
That whole didn't even understand that either.
You get what I'm saying? No, you gotta understand. You gotta understand, like, a lot of the old people that run the industry, they also came from that black exploitation era too. So it's kind of like we see Quentin Tarantino in cinema. Y'all don't know they run the record labels that think like him. So when y'all go in the scene with Pulp Fiction or Jackie Brown, the scene where why is a dead nigger in my car? Dot. Them people with that mindset run y'all record labels. That's who's been running hip hop for 50 years.
And it's a shame. This is why we're saying, like, these people just can't have a bare minimum of any type of fucking dignity. and within the genre. Julie Greenworld. Roddy said, "Not writing your rhymes killed hip hop." All of it, saying bitches like Lauryn Hill need to be put out. The gender war nonsense.
Wait a minute.
The white execs and black people bringing everything to the white execs, and also they have fucked up the underground too. Now the underground can recover, and it will recover, but they fucked up the underground too. Because remember, when hip hop, even in the early '90s, was really getting recognition, and people were still on the underground and starting to make a lot of noise, it has been pretty much taken over by the major companies. Remember when they talk about, look at Spotify, or look at how people now, if you're underground, you're putting your stuff on these platforms where you're not getting any money, you know, and you're getting robbed. And I can't remember the YouTuber's name right now, but she breaks down the legalities of like the UMGs and the Sony.
Oh, you talking about the AI attorney?
The AI attorney, yeah.
Shouts out to her.
And
I watch her all the time.
She was talking about how these major corporations and labels are buying up online platforms that are supposed to be for independent underground artists and cooperative. Now, of course, there's still hope. You can create your own website and stuff like that, but they're really trying to also make sure that the underground doesn't really prevail as well. What's up, Black Noise?
You got desperate people, though. Even if you have brilliant innovators that have pioneered something, because you have so many desperate industry rejects right now, they're online scavenging. They're treating the renaissance you are still seeing like a junkyard, and they're acting like junkyard dogs. So they're going in and snatching up the bones, and they're going back to Massa. Okay, see, Massa, I know I ain't been hot for 10 years, but look at this great idea that I got right here.
You're right, and they're stealing underground people's songs and giving it to the AI machine. That's what's happening. That's why I said, like, people kissing too much ass. You could like somebody, but let's be real, yo. If you hear an independent artist got a song outside and it sounds exactly the same as a mainstream artist,
what we talking about?
Come on.
What we talking about?
You can't cherry pick about what gets called out and then be surprised when the whole shit fucking crash.
The audience is guilty too, because the audience pays attention to what they want to pay attention to. Y'all know damn well Cardi B's record sounded like that girl's record. The black audience online made sure, for whatever reason, they got attached to this girl with Cardi B, whether it's still a part of this Drake, Kendrick, Jay-Z, Nicki war. Y'all the audience intentionally made sure that record or that conversation didn't trend. They made sure them videos didn't get views, because y'all know we can be fickle. Well, if we messing with it, we ain't clicking on a video. We gonna wait till you talk about another person that we want to talk about, but not this. We gonna sweep this under the rug. So it's a product of that too.
And to add to that, you can still like somebody and still have correction. We've had positive moments in hip hop where people was like, you know what, I'm glad the audience, had me refocused. You could like anybody's personality, but what that got to do with them stealing or other things that you should be pushing against if you want the culture to thrive. The culture is not tyrannical where we got dictators or people who think that they're supposed to take over the entire thing. It's supposed to be a community. Hip hop is a community.
The crazy part about it.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this real quick, Sid. No, you finish your point. I'm gonna say this after you say.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the crazy part about it. Let me tell you something real quick. This is the crazy part about it. How you steal from us, then come back to sell the same shit back to us. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is what makes all these industry people slow. You steal from people inside this thing we call culture, whatever you want to call this stuff. All right. There's rules and regulations, right? You steal from us, you go to the money people, they package it up, then they come back to us to sell it back to us. So they stole from whoever that girl was that wrote Outside. I'm forgetting the sister's name right now. But then they give it to Cardi to go to the money handlers. They package it back up. They roll it back out to the same people that got to hear this. That means she got to listen.
And you know,
Like, that's crazy, bro.
And you know,
you trying to sell me my shit back to me?
And the villains of the corporations, they don't give a fuck what a hip hop motherfucker got to say. Y'all fighting against AI, but y'all didn't fight for other humans to stop stealing from motherfucking humans. So you already laid a foundation for people who are trying to steal the music. Some of the people y'all love and admire steal from other people. You have the allegations with Drake. You have the allegations with Cardi. You have that wasn't a good look what Eazy-E did back in the day with what was the white boy's name again?
Which one?
The fat white boy that Eazy-E, he undercutted his guys for the white boy. What's his name again?
Jerry Heller.
Jerry Heller.
Yeah, Jerry Heller.
The D Barnes thing, not cool.
Man.
Not cool. And also, Maggie, even if it's with the producers, that still need to be handled appropriately. Every time somebody do something funky to a black person, it's like, oh, well, it's not my problem. Or people say something like just fucked up about it and all that. It's like, nah. In hip hop, y'all need to give respect to y'all black audience, number one. And number two, y'all need to give respect to each other. People also talking about the media being trash. I will say radio first, and also execs equally to blame, and then the artists themselves. Let me tell you why. Every mean and evil thing I've ever heard about Jay-Z came from another black artist in rap. Every evil and mean thing I've ever heard about Nas, about Megan Thee Stallion, about Lauryn Hill, about whoever, any of these people have came from their peers. I mean, with peers like that, who needs enemies? Who really need to do much work to destroy hip hop when all they do is spread evil things about each other? I have never seen in most situations, I would say 99% of the time, when someone from the industry calls us on the phone and something is leaked online, 99% of the time, it's other rappers like rubbing their hands, waiting and hoping that another rapper will collapse. Even talking about Nicki, all of them, Cardi. I'm saying like all of them that is involved with this whole hip hop war and all that. You always have people from the industry themselves that will call up and gossip and spread things about other artists, whether they're true or not.
Yeah, well, with industry black peers like that, why would you be concerned about racist whites in suits? It ain't that serious. So a lot of times I used to tell y'all, I say, hey man, it ain't that serious. But we got to talk about the Jews. It ain't that serious. I'm looking at what everybody's doing to each other. I'm hearing the conversations. Early on, folks, I'm telling you all, people laughed at what allegedly had happened to certain great rappers in 95/96. Y'all pinpoint the timeline exactly. I'm telling you, official people that were there on the phone in my ear laughing about these situations like, yeah, the rumors about such and such is true, and they were laughing about it.
We had someone on the phone even told us about Pox killers being invited to hip hop parties and people laughing, publicly giving love to honest.
I don't know it.
Laughing at rumors that he possibly could have sexually assaulted. I don't know if that's true or not, but they laughing and gossiping about that. Laughing and gossiping about his killers being at parties and events and everybody hanging out, it's disgusting.
Hey, man, they got people behind the scenes calling Pac a goofy, y'all. Y'all be looking at Whack 100 about Pac. That's because they're saying that behind the scenes about Tupac. Oh, some of these guys in their 50s, Tupac died at 25. Folks, he gone. 25, he out of here. He didn't make it to 30. Right? But the industry is so slow that it's actually stuck. I can't even say historically, categorically, that it's at a 25-year-old male mentality or woman mentality. I actually think it's acting like prepubescent, angry, emo teens behind the scenes.
And to add to that, they even sometimes be on the phone waging bets.
Got some bets out there now.
Bets
out there right now.
We think this person, they may die. Yeah. I'm like, people put bets on that. This particular rapper, this particular rapper may die.
I mean, that Elliot ain't saying nothing with his dirty socks. He ain't saying nothing because we can give y'all the real truth, but we don't need that type of heat on us because I don't care like that. Because at the end of the day, if it was a bigger issue, and why y'all putting gambling on the casinos of smaller rappers and the big, they got bets out there right now. Like, if you want to talk about, see, all these people online, they want to take the commentators, the YouTubers, a lot of black millennial niggas that wanted to get into hip hop, they doing YouTube because y'all fucked hip hop up so much. So they like, I'm going to pick off the carcass.
And also,
just to be clear about that, or they're going to do their breakdowns. They're going to be Luesta niggas. They're going to be doing their own things, making their beat productions. They're going to be doing their classes online. There's a lot of reasons why ain't nothing wrong with the technology. Just like a lot of niggas couldn't play instruments. Y'all got records of legends that could play instruments. So y'all can't sing Temptations, but you knew how to remix shit that the Temptations couldn't do, and y'all had to fight for that.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, when it comes to this technology, now y'all like, yeah, y'all ain't doing nothing. But then why y'all starting a podcast? Why y'all trying to bite up people's style? Why y'all trying to get in on the know? Y'all trying to get on the phone with niggas? Then y'all hear people like us behind the scenes, yo, can you Olivia Pope my shit? No, nigga, because we heard what you said. So when I look at a struggling nigga like Elliott Wilson, hey, it's par for the course, nigga. How you talking about I ain't got nothing to talk about because there ain't no hits on the chart? That means you suck, nigga.
Yeah, and gang culture has become even more problematic. Gang culture thought they would have a lick with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Their asses got locked up. Gang culture has become a problem because they don't stay in their space. They're harassing people online for hip-hop conversations. Then they got their hitmen and hitwomen and shooters rapping they can't rap. I mean, talk about clogging up the system. So that's another issue as well. And again, the thing that people don't want to talk about, a lot of the people who've made great art in hip hop are also the people who are a part of killing hip hop. Every time they let somebody in their posse who can't rap get on and they write for them. Anytime, I'm sure there's something else the dude can do, but not that. Every time you get people even like Ye bringing in white supremacists and weirdo crackers in it, like the Milo situation, like the Nick situation. Every time you say we don't want to hear black women on a mic, but we want to see Amber Rose twerk and all this other weird shit.
What was the little boy? The one that came out when he was talking about Tupac sucked and Biggie sucked, and
Yachty did that, and also
the other little one that had the tears up under his eyes.
Yachty did it, and that white boy, I can't remember his name. Pete, yeah. Luke something.
His name P. I don't know. One of them dead. I don't know which one it is, but we got to be real about this. The record labels also saw rap as a lit, and let me tell you why. See, when you have
Lil Xan, thank you,
Lil Xan, thank you. When you have musicianship, musicians, if you ever be in a room with any musician or group of musicians, no matter what genres, they can be playing samba. Right. You can feel there's a communal presence there because they have to harmonize with each other. They have to tune the instruments around each other. You don't have that in rap music. Rap is actually the antithesis. I'm the baddest bitch out this motherfucker. I'll get rid of the whole group. They looking at me. They want me. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. We got a bunch of them running around. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Right? So then you got a lot of guys that are doing that. And then the talent decreases. Now, the record labels are like, oh, this is great, man. These boys stupid. They don't want to play no instrument. They bragging about not reading. They don't care. They ripping each other off. James Brown was right at the beginning. He said, you see, what they were doing is what I was doing at the end of records, which was rapping. And they went and made their whole thing about it. I don't mind it. But you can't be stealing my records. I didn't fought these crackers too hard for that.
Yeah,
right?
And I'm sorry, it's the most. It is the most thieving. It's the most thieving genre, and the crackers behind them. It's motherfuckers still all the time. We've had hip hop rap people steal from us the most out of anybody. Then they go bring it to white people, and it's the most bizarre weirdo shit, Frankenstein shit, and not just us. It happens across the board multiple times. You know, and yes, it was already on the decline before Drake and Kendrick got into their squabble. But the whole point is, we're giving you this 100%.
Tell you what it is.
99% of things that are negative, whether it's true or not, about other rappers and MCs come from other rappers and MCs. They despise each other. They hate each other. Even some of the conscious ones. Saw Lupe saying he would help Leo Cohen orchestrate a 360 deal. Yes, Massa.
Yeah.
Yes, Massa. But you know, trying to have a hip hop conversation with him, starting trouble.
Telling us about Palestine, and he ain't concerned about none of the black artists that could go broke up under that shit. Nigga, you can go and kick your skateboard on down the street, shout it, man. We don't want to see that shit over here, nigga. That's why a lot of times, I mean, I don't personalize anything, but a lot of times rappers get out of line, and I'll let them know out the gate, oh, I don't like most rappers anyway. I love people that sending us their beautiful music. We got a lot of brothers. Two-Face Tom is a talented musician. You know, when, you know, sisters and brothers send us their music, but I'm telling you personally, someone, most rappers, I don't like them anyway. You know,
I agree with what he's saying. I love our independent artists who sending us their music, whether it's jazz and R&B, but I cannot do industry rappers. They're all conniving somewhere, and they've all sold out somewhere. Again, either somebody on their team who can't rap, they're rotting for, rock some clothes or something. Go out and do something else.
That's what I tell you. You know, to keep it on. If you ask me about music, boy, I love IS's artwork. Don't mean I want to meet Andre 3000 or B-Boy. Man, I love the way a lot of these MCs flow on these tracks. It don't mean I want to hang out with them, and I'm comfortable with that because I'm just listening to the art. I cannot hang out with John Coltrane. I listen to him every day, but I can't hang out with him. In my mind, because the way jazz is, it never warped my mind to think in a stand-up space where like, yo, I want to meet him. He's my idol, this, that, and the third. But rap is like the final form of idolatry out of all of the genres. You know, it gets so bad with it that these guys and some of these ladies out here, they do some of this stuff so bad that it works against their image and it works against the craft. So if you're talking about hyper competitive MCs around each other, there's no system of a community like musicianship, quality. Like, folks, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I hear jazz musicians or drummers and rock break down Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, I think it's beautiful, but it's so unfortunate. I said, man, you know what? This used to be a real common theme about breaking down the music, the craft of the music. And a lot of times you even have stands online, they get too impatient. Even if they love any of these rappers, they don't want to talk about the quality or the craftsmanship of the music or the messages or the intricacies or the sequencing of an album. Why did you choose this song? Like, we don't even have those conversations when they sit down with an artist. Like when they sat down with Janet and he was breaking down her track list for Control, and they was asking her, why did you come up with this particular sequencing for this album? You know, you don't have none of that in rap music.
Neon is more important to having rap radios than to have support. But yeah,
they're looking for AdSense clicks.
Yeah, it's the closest thing. Is a twofold situation here. Is the stands are destroying hip hop too, because I don't want to hang around people who only want one person to be on top, and I don't want to be around a person who only talks about one fucking artist all day. The second thing is people being too much of a stand where they can't give constructive criticism to artists as well. I do not like that shit. I feel like Nas is amazing. What he said with Hip Hop is Dead, that's an amazing album. A lot of times when people predict things a decade ago or decades ago, people don't see already the shards that are breaking. They don't see certain situations that are already dissolving. So he did an amazing job. At the same time, though, as much as Prince and I love Nas, we wasn't on his dick when he said Gwyneth Paltrow can say the N-word. That's the type of thing that people like, they don't balance. You're not here to be a fucking idol worship. People are flesh. Stop being a groupie. We all bleed and shit. People have different talents. That's great. But it's not supposed to be at the expense of the fucking community. You can like somebody as much as you want. If they say something stupid or do something stupid, you should say something about it. It don't mean you gotta boycott their music or you gotta be a weirdo and constantly
weirdo and have your own opinion,
belittle them and all that. Yeah. But fine to call it out. For example, an example of how this works is one time when Kendrick allowed a white woman to say the N-word. And his fans and everyone, a lot of them told him like, we was rock with that. He said, you know what? I don't rock with that either. And every time he went and did a live, he make sure the white person like, nah, you can't say that word. Y'all gotta stop being.
And he put it in the album for y'all, made quality art. You see how the nigga improved behind that, gave y'all Mr. Morale.
Y'all, and when I say y'all, I don't mean y'all in the chat. I'm just saying y'all like in hip hop culture. Y'all got to stop being groupies. It's about being a fucking groupie. It's about holding yourself accountable and also holding other people accountable. People are humans. Everybody gonna fuck up. There may be one day you be weak and you're like, damn, I really want that money. Gwyneth Paltrow can say that word. Your community say, no, Nas, we're not going in that direction. Nas has been doing an amazing job curating hip hop with mass appeal and keeping the spirit of hip hop alive. Nas is a legend. He's doing the damn thing. But it's very important for people in the culture to not be groupies, to love the art, love the music, appreciate these people's being able to. It's needed. You're like, whether like how the culture got on J. Cole with the No Name thing. That was good. A lot of people like J. Cole music. When he did Snow in the Bluff, that shit was dumb. And his response to No Name was stupid. But you guess what? The culture said, man, love you, J. Cole. And J. Cole realized, he apologized, and he's like, you know what? That was dumb.
Yeah, he did another thing when he sat down with Lil Pump and not Cordae. I told y'all that was a big mistake.
Well, he's produced the Corday's album.
Yeah, he's Cordae and No Name. But then again, so I'll tell you, y'all don't understand how much people behind the scenes that don't look like you got more power than your say so. There ain't no way I had J. Cole and his clean gym socks out here sitting down with dirty ass Pump. Nigga, you hip hop royalty. What that look like, man? We trying to keep this thing going. Get that roach up out of that seat and throw No Name in that chair. Sit down with Cordae. Have a series of you talking to the new class of MCs that are spitting right now.
And if you want to talk about somebody who's different than you, that's fine too. But at least they have to have
damn mutant.
They have to have a classic album. Like, okay, Future is rap music, but he has a classic album. So that even makes sense. You sit and talking to him, like, even if, I don't know, emo rap, whatever, at least let the person be, let the very least talented.
You know what?
If you're going to have that type of a conversation. But yeah, to go back to like the whole groupie thing, I don't want people showing love. Okay, this also just to make this very clear so people don't get confused. Showing love is not being a groupie. We show love to our audience every day. They show love to us. But just so I can clarify.
Damn, man, y'all some think tank groupies. Get off our dicks, niggas.
Just to clarify, when I say being a groupie is when you clearly see something is 100% wrong. Not no gray area where we all have to debate, but like you clearly see something is wrong and you don't say anything because you're too far up an artist's ass. That is what I'm talking about. And yet, even when you talk about the stand base, we're talking about Cardi, Nicki, Drake, and all that. If you want the person that you mess with to be better, then you have to be better and be honest with the person. You have to be honest with that particular artist and rap music and not doing all.
Well, yeah, too, and look, y'all, it's just what it is right now because in itself, you have food critics, you have film. If you look at the critic culture of the 90s, fire. You wonder how you got all of that brilliant artwork. Look at some of them critics was hardcore. You couldn't get past them. Don't matter how many 5-star meals they put out, there'll be a critic on their ass every time. They might even get out of the 20 critics to say, you know what, this isn't funny, right? Today, pushback, there was some hip hop purists. They was like, yeah, it's kind of stupid, man. Jay let me down on that one, right? Then I listened to the other group. They trying to cancel Cole. I said, cancel Cole? About what? They trying to cancel him. Because you see a lot of times these race, that's why you got those white comedian hacks in Austin bombing like a motherfucker out there, because they don't want to accept criticism that your bit is not funny, right? So they said, when you criticize him, like, oh my God, another woke joke. You're trying to cancel me, bro. You got that on in hip hop. There could be somebody that do something that's genuinely out of line, especially in regards to black people. We saw it with Kanye West at the beginning. Kanye West was out of line with his Harriet Tubman comments, right? He got real criticism, genuine criticism from the black community, right? Here come the white kids. Bro, they trying to cancel Ye. So what you have right there.
I'm glad you made that clarification.
You have a situation.
Never tried to cancel Ye, and I'm glad you said that. We criticize him, rightfully so. Other groups of people put baby powder on his rear end saying, I don't care, he's saying anti-black stuff. And then they debanked him when he started going after their community.
Yeah, so just to say this.
That's when he got canceled, yeah.
Oh, look, I'm going to be honest with you. That's why the hip-hop shit is so sorry right now. And I'm being real with you. The Stan Wars it's killed the fuck out of it.
No, it is.
It's killed the fuck out of it.
Even some of the people who have been grifting with Kendrick, some of them are very annoying.
Boy, they didn't drain that energy.
You trying to enjoy other people's music as well, and some of them like calm the fuck down, shorty. Unless you are in his group and like you know him, okay. But some of them, like, you be trying to also play other lyrical artists and stuff like that, and some people be just like complaining and whining. It's weird. It's like hip hop is a community. You're supposed to enjoy Kendrick. You're supposed to enjoy Jid. You're supposed to enjoy
but that's why you
various artists.
That's why y'all had that stuff last year. That's why y'all had podcasting niggas last year. Right? Because man, y'all can say what y'all want to say. It's dark crimes for a reason. Man, I used to tell Sin at the beginning, look, we'll say it. I don't care what the heat is. It'll come back around. People see that we were right. I don't care because I wasn't built like that. I don't hide my opinions. If I see something that's stupid, it's stupid, bro. I'm not hiding my opinion because you like a motherfucker like that. And they do this all in rap. They do this. All of the big record labels do it. They always tagging folks and all this other type of stuff. Realistically, a lot of that mindset is the reason why you got that track Clouds from J. Cole after he stood on stage and gaslit everybody up and said, I'm the best lyricist. Then it looked like we was about to have a 3-way Royal Rumble and he bowed out of it. Fine. Hip hop, he got criticized rightfully only because the brand you built, nigga. The brand you built. All right? That'd be a different story if somebody saw Chance the Rapper up there and say, yo, you know what, guys? The spirit is moving on me right now. I'm going to bow out. People are like, you know what? Chance is not really a battle rapper anyway. But J. Cole went around and gaslit everybody. Then the nigga, because of the anti-cancellation culture, don't criticize Cole like, how's this going to be? We're not talking about his industry peers or his industry elder peers that are like, nah, bro, it's good. These things happen. You speaking as a person with a career in music. We talking about the listeners. We talking about the people that grew up on Nas versus Jay-Z. We talking about the people that seen Beanie Siegel get busy with Jadakiss. That's the audience that was like that. The audience didn't want to see J. Cole die. They was like, but bro, how you rapping all these triple entendres? So then, this is when I knew this shit was cooked. The nigga came back outside with the track Clouds and he said, holding the gun and it's steadily and deadly and all this other stuff. And I'm like, now Cole, player. You know, in the 90s, they would have roasted the skin off your back. Yeah,
they would have made fun of you. Like, if you're going to be like, you're the best lyrically, then it's okay to prove it with other elite MCs. But, also, it's like even people mocking Joey Badass because he said mental health issues. Why are you mocking him for? Yes, the 50 Cent thing is a theory, But Joey Badass is not trying to murder Kendrick or do anything disgusting to Kendrick.
Yeah, so a lot of respect to
so when I saw like hip hop battles happen, so what? I'm not gonna sit here and mock somebody's mental health, and it's also cherry picking. If y'all gonna do that, then you open up the floodgates for people to mock Ab Soul's mental health. And
he rapped about it on Herbert.
So it's like the stand-up part is something that I would say is interesting right now, but I think it's because hip hop lacks community right now. People are going closer and closer to their idols, even at the expense of losing their own humanity. Where you're starting to now go after people who aren't doing nothing. Like, why would you be happy of somebody having a mental health crisis just because they wanted to battle Kendrick Lamar? That's stupid. Or yeah, the people who be all talking about how much they love Drake. Bro, he got caught multiple times. Ghost riders and other situations.
Reference tracks.
Like, bro, like, so it's like
it's too much.
Y'all making these the type of energies are making hip hop very unenjoyable, very unlikable, on top of execs. And yes, it's been years. Of course, it's been years that hip hop rap music was already on the decline. If we wouldn't have gotten Hip Hop Is Dead by Nas if it wasn't, right?
But you know what? And I'm gonna say this. No, let me tell y'all something. The Stand Wars is the finisher. You used to have an audience that could push back on certain things. You don't now. People make fun of Joey Badass about mental health. Didn't Kendrick just make 2 fucking albums, a double disc album out of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers about mental fragility, mental health, mental type of stuff?
I agree with that. I believe Joey because what happened with Columbia Records with his album, the tour being canceled.
Yeah, those that's a things, lot to deal with.
And you're an artist, that's mental stress.
Yeah, so the reason why I'm bringing this up, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar albums. But when I see people do the bullshit, no, y'all praise Tupac. All that nigga did was rap about mental health. Oh, niggas think I'm crazy. I'm seeing demons. Niggas putting forth. I feel like I'm paranoid. I'm not taking the medicine, smoking the weed to hide all my pain. Health. Like, it's the reason why the Stand Wars is the shit that gets on my fucking nerve. I told y'all last year, I said, man, I told Sin, even if Sin and I have a disagreement, I said, I loved everything about the battle last year. I felt I had fun. I had fucking fun. I loved everything about it. Even clicking on the Super Bowl. And then even people like, yo, is that the peekaboo there? I said, man, I don't know. Let's talk about it. Where I got irritated, Stand Wars was ridiculous. It was getting on my nerve. I says, I'm not having fun anymore. The battle was the battle. It's over. Fine. If y'all want to do this legal, if UMG owe this nigga some money, I got to move on. Right. But we used to have an intelligent audience that would push back on things in rap music. You don't really have it because not all the time has rap music fans just been stupid. That's wrong because you wouldn't have gotten great journalists like Kevin Powell. You wouldn't have gotten Sway in the morning. Hell, even look what Justin Hunt was able to do in the early 2000s, just to keep it real with y'all. But where we are right now, it's like slow kids at Discovery Zone, and they keep eating paint off the wall. And then they keep telling you that they right. I'm not drinking from the well. Sin don't drink from the well. These niggas going crazy out here.
And then people also trying to put us up with a stance. Okay, if we make 10 positive videos about an artist, we're not their stand. I can make 20 positive videos right now about Nas. I love Nas. But if he ever does that Gwyneth Paltrow shit again, he will be getting roasted, cooked, and there will be a video on that. So I think also people get that twisted. When you're doing narrative tells or you're doing breakdown videos, if someone is on a run and they're just doing a lot of dope shit, they're just doing a lot of dope shit. That doesn't mean I worship that person. And unfortunately, sometimes you can attract people who think you're worshiping somebody and then they want worship. I'm like, no, because when I criticize that person, you're gonna get mad.
That y'all talking about people bought and paid off, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. It's in a different space right now, and it would be only right for as long as hip hop has been around that it would produce a Mark Twain type energy on the microphone. Kendrick got a Pulitzer Prize. He got a lot of awards.
Which he deserves, by the
Right?
way. And Lupe, you could tell he was jealous about that.
Man, that's why I cook, Lupe. Nigga, you from Chicago. My folks from Chicago. You know better, nigga. You know what this is about. This ain't about nothing else.
If I'm talented, another person talented, and
they get that one award,
and it's their time, and they get that award, you shouldn't be jealous or you shouldn't be mad. You should congratulate. Don't be a hater. And sometimes Lupe goes into hater.
Sometimes that nigga got gray hairs by his ears now. Lupe all the way angry. Look, he said, and listen to I go on a run and make a bunch of anti-Lupe videos. This show you how it is with us. So now we don't care. I don't care. That's unfortunate. We got to move on forward. But even the reception of the whole Kendrick Lamar as an energy, I find that equally fascinating as much as people, had the reception of Drake, but also like Lil Pump and things of that nature. Because when I think about, look how Nas comfortably embraces Kendrick Lamar. Nas got bars on You Can Hate Me Now, Pulitzer Prize winner, right? Nas didn't win a Pulitzer Prize, but he was more than eligible one with the way he writes. Because a lot of people, they think like, oh, Nas is ... No, I did poetry, still do it on the side every now and then. But I'll tell you this, when you listen to somebody, when you read what they write down, Nas writes in a special way. Kendrick Lamar writes in a special way. The way Lauryn Hill, if you go read how she structured her lyrics, she writes in a very structured, poetically advanced way.
I remember also when Lauryn Hill looked like she's about to get her feet wet again. The Breakfast Club got a song that wasn't even all the way done, and with the font sounds on it. So, like, bro,
there's another reason why this shit.
Y'all are fucking retarded. Get the fuck up out the way.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me hold on real quick, Sin. Rest in peace to K Slay. Let me tell you something, man. And it's unfortunate. They are a big reason why this shit is dry. Charlemagne is a huge reason why. All right? Ain't got no sense. People are only now using things for a launch pad. So for them, hip hop is an industry genre, or rap music is a genre to launch off to be in front of a white boy like Stephen Colbert. All right? So that's why they don't have no value in the art anymore. So back then, when you was younger, if you got your hands on a rough draft of a Lauryn Hill verse and she just spitting, because I know what song you talking about, because I thought she was flowing crazy on there, right? People be like, yo, this shit gonna be fire. You know how many go? They got something online, legendary series, bootlegs called the Machiavelli tapes. These are like all of the unreleased recordings of Tupac just floating all through the internet. And you might be able to find them back in the day. They was just like on the streets too, because the older guys used to sell them. Hey man, I got some of the Machiavelli tapes. I remember listening to them, and some of them were unproduced. Here's what's beautiful about it. You get that in jazz. Miles Davis, when he did the On the Corner series, when he did On the Corner, he had the On the Corner sessions, right? Or In a Silent Way sessions. A lot of these things were unproduced. They were rough drafts, but you wanted to hear was interested. Just like when you hear on the Michael Jackson deluxe albums, when they do the anniversaries, right? Or the Thriller deluxe album, where you hear unfinished pieces of Michael's recording his lucid thoughts. They take away the poetry from this stuff. So when you take away the poetry, it's no longer an art form. It's just a genre. I'm making fart sounds on a Lauryn Hill record. When any other genre, they be like, man, did you hear this unproduced, this unfinished copy of Tim McGraw's work here? This is nice.
No, right. It's not even like real black humor. It's like booger flicking white stuff. Like, man, it's like a Tom Green type of humor, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
Boondocks, all that. That's cool,
that
but
was funny.
Like if you on the microphone and you doing shit jokes all day and you not even breaking down the music, it's like why are you on a radio station for music to begin with? And just to add to, I think someone earlier said, hip hop ain't dead. Who gives a fuck about the charts? It's hip hop. If you not out of touch, it's mad dope shit out. Nah, no. Sorry, sirs. No. Hit Boy is amazing. Still had neon in the video. He said all this weird shit about black people and black women. Ye, who has had classic albums in hip hop, brought a pedo named Milo, who just said black people aren't cool anymore. You have young Gen Z rappers wanting to put Nick in their music videos and songs now. You have in media, the reason why a lot of media is only talking about, for the most part, people's personal lives is because I'm telling you, we've said this to y'all years ago. Other rap artists are talking to Funky Adam 22 and the rest of them and gossiping about other rappers. They'll tell you on the phone who they think is going to get killed. There are people who knew that Pop Smoke was going to get killed before it happened. You have people, so they gossip on the phone about that. They gossip on the phone about who's going to get taken out, who's going to lose their money, who's going to... How do you think we knew about some of the Jay-Z stuff before it happened? Like the Tony Bugsby thing was just based off intuition. Like who else is really big in hip hop that Tony Bugsby is going to try to drag down outside of the Diddy situation? Of course,
Jay-Z was going to be the first name he called.
Of course, it's going to be Jay-Z. But nonetheless, a lot of this stuff has to do with other rappers, other artists. They'll call media up and they say, yo, I got this information about on Nas. I got this information. And 99% of the time, it'd be writers, producers, rappers in hip hop. And they will talk about other people in the game. So people don't understand. Yeah, you see the idiots on the mic, but behind the scenes it's information warfare where you have people across the board in rap trying to divulge information to take out other artists. So, I mean, hip hop got a blackmailing issue too, where I would say if you look at the state of hip hop right now, a lot of artists bully each other. They blackmail each other. Whack 100 talk about I got the tapes. People overly glorify gang culture. Again, underworld is always going to exist. I don't live in no fairy tale. But why the niggas on the mic? If you are not the talented one in the gang, shut up. I do not want to hear a gangbanger who cannot rap and write on the mic wasting time.
Well, also, just to say this too, it's really when they told y'all that we're gonna have our special picks, right? So shouts out to Black Bang. When Cash Money and No Limit, when No Limit first was running around, and then you had Cash Money, you still had a bigger diverse class of rap artists running around. I want you guys to really think about the few rappers we got left. You got campaigns against Drake. You got campaigns against Cole. You got campaigns against Nicki. You got campaigns against Jay-Z. You got campaigns against Kendrick. And these are real campaigns where they're trying to destroy what's left. And honestly, we really probably got 5 big niggas left.
You saw that also Nicki and Tasha K got into it, the Raw Girl. I saw it briefly on X.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
I guess that Raw Girl, like, y'all, isn't y'all the one said that she's the one who was like fighting for Nicki at the
Muhammad Ali?
Yeah. They not cool no more.
They never cool long enough. That's why there ain't no real community there. There's an industry. People have to work together. But
they all run campaigns against each other.
Bro, I'm telling you, Sin and we know this for a fact. Like, folks, if we're telling you that they can't wait or they put bets on which rapper is going to get popped next, then we also tell you while the living ones are running around, there are campaigns that people are actively doing.
People have bids right now seeing if Jay-Z's going to be out. If Nicki going to crash. I mean,
it's just what it is.
It's the Roman Coliseum.
So that's what I'm saying.
We've been using the Roman Coliseum
for a long time.
For years now.
And the other side of it, people think here's a great solution. If any more niggas with Geechee accents don't rap on the microphone. And I'm going to say you're part of the problem. For you to believe that one less lonely nigga not rapping on the microphone is going to feed you, then I don't need to be in that space.
And also
that space is based on scarcity.
And to add to this too, I'm not saying that these people don't do self-harming things themselves. allegations on Drake, if it's true, he lined himself up for that. If any allegations, whether Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj, whoever it is, that's on them. But just letting you know, though, the artists themselves, a lot of them, they run campaigns against each other.
No, they do. They're in collusion with billionaire backers. I want y'all to understand it. And most of the billionaire backers that do back hip hop are far right wingers. Just tell you what it is. We talked about this over and over and over and over and over. All you gotta do is look at the billionaires Kanye West was running around with. They embraced him and they made sure they looked out for him because he shared their pathology.
And also to add to that, the drug issue in hip hop is also a sad thing too. I don't know if someone is using drugs and if it's true. Y'all do know that let's just say you have certain criminals in the shadows that are there to make sure certain artists get hooked on drugs. It happened with the Beatles when George went to the dentist. The dentist put LSD in their drink. And also remember, drugs can also, for some people, have long-lasting consequences and damages with the body and the brain, with the handle.
Because I knew somebody, they used it one time. And, for real, somebody used it one time and they ended up walking down the street with a football helmet and they were naked.
You saw Ye, the different types of drugs that he was put on, not just pills, but illegal drugs. I don't know how fried up his fucking brain is. You also, so just to let people know, if you don't know, most of these artists don't come into the industry being drugs. Sometimes it could be prescription drugs. It could be illegal drugs that are put in their food, in their drink. That's why I told y'all, if you have any aspirations of being in Hollywood, you better not eat or drink nothing there. Like if you're invited to a Hollywood party or some type of meeting, don't drink anything, don't eat anything. If they invite you to a hotel on a business meeting, that happens a lot. Stay in the lobby. Don't go up in the room because they're probably going to try to sexually assault you. If you become a big star and you already you've hit a milestone, be careful of who you have as your trainer. Be careful of who you have as your doctor.
Yeah. Nothing recommended. Record label, studio recommends someone, go search for yourself. Because you'll be surprised who's keeping tabs on you, why and how. But look, y'all, even like, and don't nobody want to talk about it. You never hear it, even Elliot's ass, he ain't going to talk about the big wigs. He going to focus it on just cosmetic cultural conversation. Is it the South? Is it the East Coast falling off? Is it the Midwest? Is it the West Coast? Right? They're not going to really talk about the real power players.
He even also brought up Matthew Perry. It's not a hip hop. It's all of Hollywood.
It's everywhere.
Matthew Perry and other young actors at the time and actresses were put into the drug culture early on. Sometimes even when somebody comes into Hollywood, if they're a teenager, 13, 14. You saw with, even younger than that, you saw with Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore is not an anomaly story there. We're talking about somebody giving drugs as a kid before even turning 13, being at clubs, giving alcohol. I think people don't really understand the reality. People believe in the propaganda. Most of these people were not people like, yeah, man, I'm just on drugs. I've always been like that. No.
I'll give you an example.
In most situations, they were not drug addicts until they came into the industry.
All you got to do is look at Soulja Boy. Look at Soulja Boy then and look at Soulja Boy now.
People try to get people on ice.
Look at Soulja Boy. Y'all saw how fresh faced he was when he came in at 16 and 15. At the most, he might have smoked some weed. That's it. Even if he did that. But look at him now. Bro, that's how the industry accelerate niggas. It ages niggas up.
They can lace your marijuana. So be careful with that. They can even put bath salts in your drink. Man, if you are anybody that's trying to go in that demonic, and I mean demonic as in evil. I know demon doesn't necessarily always mean evil. It can also just mean being on the earthly plane. But in this particular situation, I'm going to use it as evil.
Rock. Go ahead, Sid.
When you're in that evil industry, be prepared for every and anything. Shout out to all the followers that listen to us in Japan as well. You got to be very, very careful. You cannot be gullible. Yeah, I understand that they offer gold and all that stuff, but we're telling you it's a very dangerous place to be. And then also there's a grooming culture that you got to be careful with that. And then you also got to be careful with artists starting to make dumb decision after dumb decision because their brain is mushed, you know. And it's like yes, dope and unapologetic. You also write what you're talking about even with Drake. You know, Drake has an astrology chart with his ascendant in Leo with Regulus, where he's supposed to forgive and move on and not get set up again. Use your intuition, move on. Revenge is actually very bad for his particular code. You get what I'm saying? And he seems to always be trying to do that. You have engaged chart, really great entrepreneur, a merchant, very smart merchant. He can make anything, visual performing arts, not just the merchandise. You know, he got his website, but he also is someone that can be prone to following false doctrines, and also someone who can get caught up by a lot of emotional extremes as well. You know, all these people also who are worrying about, let's even go to someone else who's a big figure in hip hop. If you're talking about even Kendrick has a chart where if he stays in integrity, he's going to be fine. Nothing can happen really to him. He has a really good chart. If he stays in integrity, he'll be fine. If he betrays any of that stuff, he will get in trouble by the universe. That is his personal chart. You have Jay-Z. Jay-Z was always going to make money.
Yeah, Jay-Z, you actually got that thing where it says ruthlessness. Like everything you see about Jay-Z that people complain about to Sid's point, like when you go up under the hood of some of his stuff, and it says all he was going to rap about after he made it from the bottom was how I made it from the bottom.
Right. So his chart, he's supposed to tell the grand story of how he became wealthy, right? That's in his chart. And you know, he has Giesta Nasatra in his Vedic astrology chart, where someone who likes to thrive to be the one on the throne and all that other stuff, right? The whole point, everybody, including y'all in the chat, have your own destiny. Y'all have your own fate. You have your own light and dark, just like shadow and light, just like Prince and I as well, right? We're all trying to navigate this correctly. Sometimes I go hard on certain celebrities, and sometimes I don't feel like it anymore because I'm like, like even if I see a celebrity crashing out too much, it's like it could be the drugs. Really, the brain could be fun.
It's a lot of
it could be anything because they all have handlers. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I just know a handler is up to something.
You have handlers, and you got to think about they got scouters. So before they get in there, they have a scout that comes and look for them. So then they're pulled into a system. And if you don't think, if you don't believe it, all you got to do is look up how they set up NFL. So think about the under leagues, think about the junior leagues, think about the middle schoolers, think about the elementary people, the little babies. You know how many times I've been on a field and I've seen little boys that are in the elementary school, as old folks who say elementary school. There's a old guy, and he says, that one right there, that's the one. And they put a tracker on his back, basically. And they follow him through middle school. They follow him through high school. And then they like, hey, man, you can go all the way pro. They do the same thing in all industries. They have scouts that they send out first, and then they see what's going on with the prospect. This prospect has a potential. They have the opportunity, good endowments, investments, sponsors. You know, all right, let's give him the story. His black mama was single by herself, or she did it by herself. But sometimes the mamas be married to a black man. But they'll just say, nah, just let's highlight the black mama so we can do the marketing and advertisement. We get in there. They're politically neutral. They don't have an opinion about anything. Leave them alone. We're gonna we're gonna teach you how to dress. You're gonna cut the braids. You're gonna cut the dreadlocks out of your hair, whatever you call them. Fine, this, that, and third, right? Then they got their little boo thing that they ran with them. They was like, no, we're gonna have you stand next to Glorilla. You like Glorilla's music? Oh man, I think she kind of cool, but yeah, I want to bring my girl with me. No, she can come too, but we're gonna have her walk through the back. Well, you're gonna come in through the front on the red carpet with Glorilla. Okay. They do that they do it in politics. That's how you got Charlie Kirk.
Right, and that's why the movie death is real. I love all y'all, but death is real. This is not something that is just people speculating. The industry was near death, and some people are saying all they do is remix McDonald's stuff. It's not to say that the movie industry can't revive itself, but death happens. Nobody is bulletproof. Blaxploitation films had to revive Hollywood the first time when they were on apps. You have right pop. We are on life support. No, it is major issues. Yes, so people have put out good albums, but that's not enough when you have legends dragging every weirdo into rap culture. You cannot say rap is in a good space where rap is relying on Neon, the guy that said he wanted to kill black women and other things like that. You cannot say that rap is in a good place when you got Gen Z rappers trying to push Nick, that Ye pushed out there. When Milo ugly ass, who basically was promoting pedophilia, is now saying black people aren't cool. Rap has been infiltrated. Even motherfuckers trying to get on from the underground capitulating to dumb shit. People got to say something now. If you want hip hop to have a good rebirth, okay, let's kill the cancers and let's really do something major, then people are going to have to start being honest. I like Hit Boy's music, and I also think he's a great producer. I also love his story. But I don't like the Neon stuff. Now, he's a grown man and all the people behind him, they could do what they want. But again, like Prince and I said, I can go and enjoy jazz music and jazz legends and just, Thundercat, even the ones are right now that doing the damn thing, and enjoy just being black. It's a cultural thing, and just enjoy our culture. Yep. I can go for the most part. And not this bad sloppy R&B, but R&B is making a comeback. I can go listen to an R&B and like, yeah, this is nice. Hip hop right now, rap is a mixed bag. No, it's weird. You got weirdos. You got a weirdo people who be like doing weird shit. It needs to be cleaned up right now. It really does need to be cleaned up right.
I think, and look, it happens. Rock and roll went through different phases. Jazz, it wasn't as brutal. Even in the early 2000s when people was like, yo, white people took jazz from us. I said, no, I always just debate people. I said, actually, Kamasi Washington, Thundercat Sky, Elena Pinderhughes. I can go through the list of a lot of people. Yeah. Some of them, Lupe actually featured on his album. Kendrick is featured on his album as well. Chance the Rapper has featured on his album as well. There's a lot of stars that are like a lot of the big stars in jazz are still black people. I'm glad to say that. Instrumentalists.
Jazz is still majority black, even though jazz is global.
It's a global thing.
A lot of other cultures.
It's not about.
Yeah, you got South Koreans.
You got Ethiopian jazz.
You got Cuban
Chinese
jazz.
Right. And I listen to all of it. And one thing that I'm gonna tell you one of the things that's one of my favorite things to come out of the genre of hip hop, of course, is the DJ, the concept of the DJ. So, for instance,
I think it's
when I'm listening to like people that like doing black DJs that are doing like international house music, right, or other DJs from wherever, right? You could be an Asian DJ that's in Japan, right, but they're blending in jazz, they're blending in the best elements. One thing I like about them as magicians, because that's what they represent. They represent like a magician type of hermit energy. They blend in the best sounds from a lot of the genres. They go to the fine points. They hit the high notes in all genres. and they come up with this unique style that I think is fire. I actually think internationally though, they got some rapper that's like, I think coming out of China, Sky God, and he's Cantonese, and people are having like a weird split with him because his music has just surpassed like a traditional musician that just does like singing. There's a style of singing they have out there, and they feel some type of way about it because they kind of like, he's just rapping, he's not really singing, but most of his audience are international or they're Westerners. A lot of people are listening to him in the West. What's happening right now, though, it's a split. Now, I think hip hop is kind of going back to like some underground root type thing. I think it's kind of going back to like some of the earlier works we've seen in like 93, 94, maybe 92. You're getting a lot of brilliant, dope musicians out there that people get a chance to dig in the crate. This is the dig in the crates era, right? Internationally, though, different elements of hip hop is being found everywhere right now.
Well, people do have a question because back then digging in is a bad situation also with the number games going. Although that's harming music in general.
Okay, so that's a Silicon Valley issue.
Yeah. And what we brought up about stealing from each other too.
Yeah, Silicon Valley, issue. Just to let people know, you got to understand so what they're trying to put on black folks, Sin is right. But remember, hip hop, it's a black genre when they want to diss it. All right. When it's thriving, it's everywhere. It's for everybody.
And also
right?
remember what the underground artists in the late 90s, though, they said, even Immortal Technique talked about this too. You had mainstream artists that were stealing from the underground for new ideas and stuff to market to these white people and all this other stuff. That is why I said, like, we got to be really honest about this cancer if we want to kill it and actually really revive the culture. Because look, you had Drake and Justin Bieber mocking a classically trained jazz muscian.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Esperanza Spalding, who's a dope musician.
She's amazing.
Bassist, classic bassist, got several classic albums.
She's amazing.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was like, yo, Drake trash. Bro, you dissing Esperanza Spalding.
Yeah, him and Justin Bieber did, right? And I'm tired of people inviting Justin Bieber to the cookout. So, and then we have that too, because we have real art. It
didn't make no sense.
They keep dragging his Dawn of the Dead ass everywhere. Even really good artists, but there is a problem where you do still have people stealing from the underground. You have the Silicon Valley issue. You have things that people have to be realistic with what's going on. I personally believe some of these digging in the crate people can be successful just on music alone, but not when you have so many taking out of the pocket. Too much money is being taken out of people's pockets, and there's also too much stealing going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna be clear here. You're gonna have to do your own community work. You have to build your own community, your listeners, fans, whatever you want to call them. You're gonna have to build them out. You're not going to be able to rely on a system, because if you go like, oh, I need Kevin Liles as my corner, you definitely risk your stuff not coming out the best.
And what about those stealing?
You got to remember, the industry has more unsuccessful acts that never made it, that y'all never heard of. Go through a record label and see how many shelved artists. And there's some really brilliant shelved artists that never make it. When you see something like Justin Bieber, do you guys understand that Justin Bieber could be the 109th iteration of that energy that they didn't shelve, that they finally put out there?
But also, what about the scamming energy? That's very important. I'm talking about digging in the crates that you brought up before in the underground.
Well, I didn't finish my point, though, with the digging in the crates.
Because people are stealing a lot from independent artists. And then now you also have the AI thing with even Timbaland and the white execs that are further stealing from producers and all that other stuff, too.
Well, I mean, I will tell you is that, no, you do have a great opportunity for you to be able to go locally. Now, it'll be up to you how much you want to put your stuff out on the internet, honestly. Because I think sometimes there is too much oversharing. You know, you got people going in the studio talking about, this is the program I use, this is the button I push. And then they're upset when they see Timbaland talking about the same thing as well.
I don't agree with that.
So
I think you should be able to go online and show your skills. People shouldn't be no fucking thieves.
Well, we should not be able to have to deal with Nick Fuentes. We shouldn't be able to have to deal with people losing all of these jobs in government right now. There's a lot of wood. We shouldn't. Look, y'all, Kanye West shouldn't be running around here with a fucking Nazi chain.
So then we're talking about why there's death being talked about within the culture.
No. I'm doing something a little bit nuanced here where I'm just speaking on something specific. Right? What I'm speaking on is this. Yes, this is a wake-up call, though. Because there's a lot of stand-up and fandom that has been going on for a long time. People, think about what was going on. I watched him. Why? Send me your beats. I'm like, are you trying to sign an engineer, sign a producer, a beatsmith? Then it turned out he had the Suno deal. All right. Look, it's going to be up to you all. How much are you going to share? Yeah. Protect what is yours. There are some artists that don't really have an online presence right now, but when they perform in certain cities quietly, whether they're performing in Montgomery to Austin or whatever the case in Memphis, they actually have a huge following. People do support them, show up to their shows.
Breaking down how you came up with a sound is a part of music theory. You shouldn't have to, I can't be online. I'm supposed to do.
Well, some people have different charts. We talked about that too.
No, but I'm saying it's part of the culture. If you can,
Stephen, you and I, we've been through this.
Then people.
There's things you and I said, we're not going to talk about this. Up and claim it as theirs and run on or try to steal ideas. Folks, the reason why you see me be so short with a lot of the quote unquote men in the industry, bro, a lot of them do steal. And then people want you to try to play the politic game.
When you're looking at jazz musicians, people music, you have a lot of online courses because some people sell courses, and then you also have people who break down what they do in the music, how they approach things. I think we should stop penalizing gifted people and start putting foot to ass to fucking thieves.
But some people can't do that, though, Sam. You speak well on the mic, I speak well on the mic. Most people don't do those things. What are you going to do? Unless you got money for lawyers, a lot of artists are broke. They ate up an industry. They ate up the institutions. Def Jam ain't shit. Interscope ain't shit. You see what's going on with UMG. Sony ain't shit. That's what he's the.
First of all, more into technology. You can't cut off online and breaking down music and stuff just because a bum may try to steal from you. Like, even right now in today's business, yes, localizing and being off the internet, that's all great. But you got to have some form of an internet presence. That's why you see even right now, especially with jazz and with classical music and some of the older genres, they're all online. It's just that they are lucky where it's less of a risk. I would say hip hop is on steroids.
Well,
hip hop and rap music steroids when it comes to fucking thieves.
Listen, I told y'all at the beginning, people are going to bite a piece of you off. Make you their meal, though. But if you want to be off the grid and you want to go into the Asian mountains and play the banjo, so what? But the rap music, it has made lazy musically. It's made creators a lot of time lazy because you're chasing trends. I'm jumping on the story first. That's not a measure of excellence. It's a measure of time.
But there's a lot of people.
Again, if I can lift your shit all the way up your hands, and you also have been having, and you all know this as yourself, if you've been having an adversity, because I've tried to duplicate what they do, because we got to be honest with rap music. It's a mimicking sport. People mimic. They just mimic. They mimic.
There's a lot of people who are copying motherfuckers.
It's a copycat. Like niggas was sharing me the designer shit, but I still didn't give a fuck. I actually heard him rap. We talked about that nigga from Brooklyn, and he was rapping a different way. So I'm supposed to clap for him because he filmed a bootleg Bad Boy video, and now he rapping like now we have post the Kendrick battle. He's out there, Joey Badass. You had the other little dude that Joey was fighting with, Chris, the Von Wick, all that. So now this is what we're talking about. Oh, here come Designer. Oh, guess what? I'll rap too. Because remember, everything's trendable here. So now people are spitting 100% in the clips. So here come Designer. When Designer and those people thought it was okay that everybody wanted to sound like Future, what did he do? Mimic Future. Now Designer is mimicking music from hip hop from New York.
Yeah, there's a lot of arrogant behavior in rap, even when people, but sometimes they make people successful. They brag about destroying another artist's career and stuff. It's very disgusting.
Yeah,
it's very disgusting. Y'all get your trademark, make sure you're copyright and stuff. But the only thing I was saying, if you're doing musical tutorials and breakdown, being online is very lucrative and you can make a lot of money.
No, my angle was not them not doing that. I never said that. Number one, paperwork in order. Stop flooding this with dope shit and you ain't got nothing under action where you can sue a bitch. That's number one. Learn from Trump. All he do is sue motherfuckers. He sued YouTube. So that's number one. You can sue people. And I'm going to tell you something. Most of the industry rap don't really have against clear theft, right? We've seen that over and over. So you have to accept, first and foremost, as much as I love this art form, the genre in itself is the T1000. These bitches mimic into anything. So let me get my paperwork in order.
Yeah, and we love hip hop, but it's just out of all the genres, it's the easiest to mimic. This is why you have really low IQ people in hip hop. You do. Like little pump stuff. You have a lot of slow ones in rock too, which led to the
bad ones.
Yeah,
some pretty bad ones in rock.
Really fucked up rock music. The reason why jazz has such a strong staying power, mainstream or not, the reason why jazz has such a great staying power is because you can't get no little pump in jazz. You can't get no little pump in jazz. Like, come on now.
Bill Clinton didn't drop that album.
For every high IQ artist that's in, and I'm talking about musical IQ that's in hip hop, right now you'll have like 20 people who are slow and slow on the mic too. I'm not talking about perfection. Nobody knows everything, but like, let's keep it 100% honest here. Like, you have a lot of slow people and their biggest gift is knowing when to steal. And I'm sorry, but if hip hop continues on this trajectory, it should die. You cannot have a bunch of people running around stealing from their own people, putting bets out on who's going to die. Oh, is Jay-Z going to die? Is this person going to die? Is Nicki going to die? Enough.
It ain't, but you see, but again, I respect it. Let me tell you why. There's always going to be an audience there for Whack 100 when he say, I got a new tape on such and such. Or whoever said they're going to try to blackmail Nicki Minaj or Cardi B. Or if I got this, that, and the third. There's always going to be an audience for that. The only thing I just sometimes get sick of, I feel like the audience is for the, I just don't want to hear the crying about it. You get what I'm saying? You can't go over there and lay down with that person that that sex is real for you. Right? You enjoy, you love every minute. You sucking the air out of their throat. And then you complain that you can't stand to see them drink water. I used to tell people, hey, man, you can go and wrap that up, man, because you over there jumping up and down an old girl all night. I need you to be a man and be responsible. I need you to be a grown-ass woman and saying you like riding old boy over there. Y'all just don't like each other outside the bedroom. And fans they should even look at it that way. Like, you know what? I am for this Jerry Springer fuckery. It is what it is. I like to eat at the table, this pig slop as well. But don't try to like. That's why we cooked everybody on the high morality shit. I said, oh no, we're not doing that now. We're not doing no moral shit. Let's understand, at times this shit turns into waste management. Okay, it is what it is. We can if we can accept that, then we can understand light and dark. Like we can really understand, like, yo, this is the art, this is bullshit. And the crazy part about sitting out, we was doing this on the Patreon stream when we was playing the Wait a Minute joint. And I think it was Ariel Smoke. He said he had realized for him personally, he was funny. He said a lot of the music I liked back then was bad, but I was like, hey man, but at least we knew and understood, and we was able to accept this here is cotton candy music. This is Supreme. Because when Wait a Minute dropped, like it was different than like maybe Alicia Keys' first album drop, and it ain't the same thing. Like we clearly,
not even close.
And sometimes like I know, like some of the older guys or whatever the case was. Sometimes the CDs would sit right next to each other. Like you got clearly a bad record right here that's for fun, and then a classic album right here, and it was okay. Today, what they try to do is they try to merge everything together because they keep marketing. I'll give you a very interesting example. Look at that stank ass Jim Jones Nas conversation. Then you have people going on the streets talking about, yo, who's better, Jim Jones or Nas? And then you have some people's like, oh, I don't know. Framing is very important. You know why there's no more real framing in hip hop? Because let's be real, a lot of the intelligent writers have either been evicted out, blackballed because they didn't want to sell out to the record labels, or people just didn't care anymore. So when you say Jim Jones and Nas, in regards to what?
Right.
In regards to what?
No, you're saying honesty needs to be here. Don't be disingenuous. Yeah, even when Black Attacks at first said, I didn't hear Black Attack, you heard cousin. Stop it.
Oh, you heard cousin. There's people that said they've muted anything Kanye West on their timeline. Cousin still made it into their algorithm. God damn it, the damn song.
So just to break this down just real quick, execs are killing hip hop. The people who made hip hop beautiful are killing hip hop. And I'm talking about people who have classic albums. People who are legends or icons. Some of them had a moment that was not hip hop. Unfortunately, there's various things going on here. And also, I will put number one at the top. What we're talking about, what Jen said, is scamming and stealing. Scamming and stealing.
Captain Jen.
We talk to jazz artists from around the world, which is, the genre that was created by Black Americans, right? I ain't never hear them talk about, yo, just stealing. In fact, Prince was having a conversation with a guy from South Korea, and he said, like, he's classically trained in classical music. He also dabbles in metal.
Orchestra.
But he said that jazz was the hardest one for him to learn.
Yeah, because we was talking.
He wasn't telling you, he wasn't having a conversation with you about people stealing.
No, actually, because there's a trope with jazz musicians play for other jazz musicians. Before, when you got into like the really intricate lyrical aspects of hip hop, like the cannabis, what was the name of the video? What was the name of the documentary they had where the rhymers were other rhymers' bars? They had Common looking at cannabis bars, and he was talking about when cannabis was breaking down the biology of the human eye, but he was using it in a metaphor, right? Or Black Thought breaking down Common's lyrics. That's the closest we've ever gotten to jazz within hip hop when it comes to the verbiage.
No, I'm glad you said that instead of artists clout chasing like what Jim Jones does. It's funny to mock it, but why are you making content of just talking about what you supposed to be good at, which is either producing music or being a lyricist?
Because for me, when I was used to look at things that was fascinating to hear, maybe Black Thought break down cannabis lyrics, or maybe Common break down Black Thought's lyrics, or I thought it was like one of my favorite hip hop oriented podcast episodes ever is when Crooked I interviewed Rakim. As far as Anybody that comes out of that space and they did a podcast, that was my favorite shit I ever heard, because we got to understand.
Do you mean Something from Nothing? The Art of Rap?
Yes, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Who did that again? Who
39 said that.
Shouts out to 939. But when Crooked I sat down, and Sin and I, we actually did a live stream about this. When Sin and I did, when we watched Crooked I interview Rakim, and then Rakim was sharing things. He was like, yeah, I was playing the drums. Crooked, I said, what? He said, yeah, man, I play the drums, and, he comes from a jazz lineage. I think Ruth Brown is his auntie, right? And so he was playing, he said,
Prodigy also comes from.
Yeah, oh my God. Prodigy comes from a jazz legacy, man. Yo, Prodigy got some Avatar shit in his bloodline. All right. But anyway, but even that right there, like, man, like all that actor studio-ish type energy. Another thing about, like, y'all got to be real, is it's been so classless. We're not even, see, hip hop is bougie. Rap music, let me take this back. Rap music is bougie and classless. So they'll do bougie shit like, my daughter likes skin. They'll do bougie shit like, yeah, what a nigga know about Giuseppe's? What a nigga know about Gucci this and Gucci that, right? It's classless though on top of that, because at the same time,
there's no regal energy there. Because in jazz, where people stunting with their clothes, but if you stunting and you look good, they like, oh, that's a cold ass suit. But if you can't play, they be like, nigga, get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
They don't give a fuck if you
look, motherfucker.
You look in the suit
that
and you
just dressing the part. Man, give me my fucking.
You can't play the piano. You can't play the saxophone. They tell you get out.
Give me my pistol. I'm gonna shoot this nigga.
There's too much man trying to be bad bitches in hip hop.
Yeah,
like you can't rap. You can't produce.
Yeah, like, okay.
You post the beat, like people just post it, like.
Look at you.
If you want to do fashion, then take your lazy ass and go do fashion.
That's why they on the strip Rick Owens' ugly ass. That shit ugly. I clown that motherfucker every day. I said, this shit trash, nigga. Right? But anyway, so when Crooked I interviewed Rakim, and Rakim was breaking down like, no, actually I was playing a lot of instruments on our albums. We never knew that. We never knew that. Going back to like jazz, when Miles Davis first talked about when he first saw Prince, and he writes it in his autobiography about he thought Prince was going to be one of the greatest, right? He said he just, like, the culture of listening to musicians talk about other musicians, that's gone, because the stands are also attention hungry themselves.
Also jealousy, right? Because it not being community focused in jazz, like, they see somebody on the corner playing, they don't be like, dang, they're supposed to go and take my spot.
Right. So
9 times out of 10, they be like, yo, mentor that person, or we gotta. Or
at least talk. Saying, hey man, you good. You real good. Like how many times
with Miles, a lot of so many jazz artists are icons because people who were already big when they were newcomers was like, you gonna travel with me. You gonna come aboard me. And not being a fucking hater.
Because that means, this goes back to my point I was bringing up earlier. How confident are you in your gift? Because we have a lot of unconfident, talented people, but do they feel that they're gifted? Because a gifted person, man, you wouldn't be trying to blackball somebody's career because, like, you rap in this direction, they rap upside down, and they do it very well. You get what I'm saying?
T-Mac, we appreciate the donation.
Shouts out to you. Like, I'll give you guys the idea of mirth and comedy. For me, we all like, okay, y'all have same judges like food and sometimes music. Like with me, with some of the comic stuff is like, I'm a little bit of a tougher critic, but I won't like bash the shit out of somebody. But how many times I tell y'all in the chat, I'll say, no, a lot of you all have mirth. A lot of you all should get into comedic writing. Some of you all are naturally funny. Y'all should take a look into, I tell Black Noise all the time, you should look into creative writing with comedy at the very least, write some funny stories. I talked about that with Ariel Smoke. But I don't look at y'all shit and be like, I'm going to take that stuff for myself and then I'm going to tell it like it's mine. You got a lot of that in rap culture.
Yeah, you got a lot of that in rap culture. Like in jazz, even if somebody didn't like each other, if they both cold, the jazz community is still going to support both. Like, I looked at the jazz era and I just see talented Black people everywhere. What I don't like about rap is like I don't like the imagery with rap because a lot of people they suck. It's not no black excellence. Is black mockery. Like you crying and talk about crackers. You just as corny and slow as the ones who can't rap. You just as corny and slow as the crackers who can't rap or whatever. Like it's like
I don't even want y'all to talk about.
I want to see.
Just do the music.
I want to see black people who are artists, people who are good at what they do. I don't want to see you dancing if you can't dance. You got to be able to be a choreographer who just knows how to move. I don't want to see you banging on an instrument if you can't play. I don't want to see you paint if you can't paint. I don't want to see you trying to be like you a lyricist if you can't. Like, come on now, like, stop it.
You know, like, look, it is what it is, you know. And a lot of times, I'm just telling you for a fact. Listen, I'm not about being arrogant in people's faces, but a lot of times, especially when you, unfortunately, you meet some of the people you even really admire their work, and you kind of find out like that is how they think, you know. And I'm just being honest with you, and you know. There are times people don't move on things, but then you find behind the scenes, people get word back to you like they may be intimidated or they want the spotlight for themselves. Or I told y'all before when I was talking to some people, they going back and forth with me about whose name was going to go first, who's going to have top billing. I said, I don't care. But finally, I snapped and I said something to one of the guys. I says, look, even if your name goes first and we both get on the stage and I outperform you, you still going to have a problem. Where's your confidence? Because I'm not about hogging up the spot. I'm like, man, Cindy running off 1,000,000 miles an hour. I don't give a fuck. She does great. She's intelligent. She's very funny. She's hilarious. And I don't have no problem with that. But
same.
When you talk about
for you.
Yeah, when you talk about rap music or you talking about this culture, and it didn't spill all over YouTube into the commentary space. This is how you get a lame nigga like Elliott Wilson. It's just what it is, right? Because I can look at Elliott Wilson's journalistic work and be like, yo, that was some dope shit. You know, I used to think the editorials he wrote up at the beginning of XXL, the magazines, I actually thought they were kind of funny, right? The problem is that
he can have wit when he writes, when he
has a quality of mirth in his writing, right? The problem is that nobody tells you some of these people you meet are going to have like low self-esteem. You get what I'm saying? Nobody tells you that. So you run into these spaces, you being a shiny person you are because you got your confidence. You didn't know that people was going to be kowtowing, and you got a lot of that goes on. So what happens, you have a distillery in this culture.
That's why I said I love jazz.
They weed out that to the point of
Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitz. Even when you talk about Coltrane, Alice, when you talk about Nina Simone, you talk about
you got to go
Miles Davis. I just know that growing up, every time I saw anything jazz, not one person trash. Even if somebody is on the lower ranking end, you can tell there's a lot of effort that's put into it. But overall, I look at the black performers in jazz. I never saw someone where I can just easily dismiss because that person put a lot of work into that. In rap music, there's a lot of motherfuckers you can fucking dismiss.
Well, there was a quality in black entertainers too, though. Being an entertainer is a real thing, right? So, look, Miles Davis and Jimi Hendrix, y'all know they was like between them. If you don't know the story, it was Betty Wright. She kind of infused that. She influenced that rock electric style that inspired both Jimi Hendrix and Miles Davis. Now, there's a legendary, I think, a 4 or 6 hour session that Jimi Hendrix and Miles Davis did together. Allegedly, at first they weren't clicking with each other because, Miles was feeling some type of way about Betty, at Jimmy and all this other stuff. So they kind of, had the same taste in women. But that got put to the side because Miles said, he's still cold at what he does. Right. And Jimmy said the same thing. They were supposed to do an album together. And I think one other person as well. They were supposed to do an album together, but unfortunately, Jimi Hendrix died. In rap music, in rap culture, and in rap stand-up culture, you don't get that.
No. You
get people that'll try to play. Like I even saw people that are, and remember now, stands are coined by the white boy. But stands can be tied to any act. So I saw Jim Jones stands say unequivocally without a doubt, Nas is ass, bro. He garbage. Just like that.
Because it's trolling that happens in hip hop. But I would say, yeah, no, if Kendrick and Lupe were jazz musicians, their high level artistry would eventually have them sit down to talk, even if there was a rivalry. And hip hop, it's like
it don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense because being gifted is not really a binding or something that's compatible or coming together. A seat at the table type of thing where in jazz is like, yeah, we had our differences, but I always thought you was cold here. Yeah, and I always thought you, and they at the table talking like with,
you know what made it worse, Sam, just to tell you this.
Rap, like you don't even have that. And then on top of that, you got Milo and all these people trying to run real quick. They trying to run their campaign against Kendrick Lamar right now because you see Tim
Poole.
Yeah, who's a failed artist.
He is.
He's trying to
ask him to take that hat off.
Yeah. He's talking about the woke thing, connecting it. And then you also have
that means
Milo.
They're running out of
views. Milo is saying, oh, hip hop isn't cool anymore, and zooming in on Kendrick's face.
So, well, okay, let me I want to go back to the Lupe conversation. And this is where actually it's funny you said it because this is where I was trying to take it with it, right? You did have jazz artists that just didn't fuck each other, and it was okay. You know, they were like, yo, I don't want to be at the same venue as old boy, blah, blah, blah. What was the movie with Denzel Washington?
Mo Better Blues?
Mo Better Blues. You saw what was going on there, but you saw at to the sense point, at some point, the conflicting energies was like, well, let's get on stage and perform. Who can do this, that, and
that's
third,
all
right?
I'm saying. They always come together either in a sit-down conversation or they collaborate in some type of way, even if they had beef before. Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you why I was really about to tag Lupe's ashy knees. Now, sir, we know that you and Kendrick both are supremely influenced by jazz. Your styles are built off abstract jazz. Lupe and Kendrick's styles of rhyming is built off abstract jazz. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. All right? I'm just being honest with you. Sometime when Kendrick hit in them pockets, the nigga flowing like a Herbie Hancock song off of Rocket. All right? Where I really was going to get at Lupe, I says now aesthetically, lyrically, linguistically, alliterations, metaphors, couplet, haikus. I can go through all the iterations of poetry, structures of poetry. You know damn fucking well Drake is not a better MC than Kendrick. Because if I'm going to say that, then I would have to say Drake is a better MC than you, nigga. If you want to get into the conversations about...
That means that Drake would be a better lyricist than a lot of people.
So the reason why Goggles was getting on my nerve is because I knew he was lying. See, you can't do that in jazz. If I don't like somebody, I cannot say without a doubt that a nigga as a bassist, Wes Montgomery on the guitar, I can't lie and say, even if I never liked Wes Montgomery could have fucked my woman somewhere. Not you, say. I'm just talking about another life, right? I still can't say he a trash ass guitarist.
Now, even jazz critics that were hard on Miles because of Bitches Brew, they never said he was whack. Because that would not be true.
They said we just not feeling it. The album ended up pioneering jazz. My point is, when I was trying to talk to Lupe, that's when at that time, when I'm talking to Lupe, I say, yo, rap is fucking dumb.
And we have
dumb.
Rap, there's so many liars.
Yeah.
It's too many fucking liars.
Yo, I said rap is dumb.
Rap is so vengeful. Because I told you, even when we had issues with some people doing grifting off of the Kendrick thing, I'm never gonna lie and be like Kendrick isn't a lyrical genius because he is. I don't like in hip hop. There's so many fucking liars. Somebody could be an A+ lyricist. If they don't like him, they be like, well, actually, we really talking
about it.
Soulja Boy's a better lyricist
than poppity poop poop.
They are so emotionally immature.
The reason why I say
immature people.
The Lupe Kendrick conversation to me is also that's devastating. And I couldn't believe Lupe sat up there with that dumbass energy. I said, okay, let's just say you want to lie to us and say you're not jealous. I don't believe you, nigga, because I've listened to you from the days of Science Project. I've listened to damn near every Lupe mixtape. All right. I listened to the nigga before people was like, oh man, we knew about the Chicago nigga in the A.
Scooby said you up real fast. Scooby said, not you, Sid.
No.
Chris cleared that up quick.
No, I'm talking about
Thank you for the donation,
Shouts
Scooby.
out to Big Scooby.
Also, everybody support Scoob's breakdown on No Limit versus Cash Money is already at 10,000 views.
Oh, congratulations, man. Hey, man. Yeah, I want to be clear when I say that, right? But I'm just telling you, when you hear Wes Montgomery Legend, when he pulled out the guitar, it's just what it was. You can't say the man wasn't cold.
Just like you see, as annoying as Lupe is, now one time did Prince and I ever lie and say Lupe as an artist is overrated?
I wouldn't do that.
That would just be lying. He annoying. That's also true.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna.
I don't do what he does.
Yes.
I don't do what you do. Nigga, you gonna tell me big as the what? What song lyrically, cadence, when we talking about metaphor, simile, structure, themes, concept, what song that Drake has? I'm saying Drake does the player shit because I feel like Drake is a baby off of Mason Jay-Z's tree. All right? He gets into some lyrical staccato here and there, but Drake really likes to, he's the celebrity nigga. Lupe wasn't talking about that. I said, so Lupe, you mean to tell me you heard Black of the Berry? And you really you wasn't at MIT about to cry and you was breaking down one of Drake's lyrics. You was doing that with a kid. Concept and the writing was so potent. I'm not going to lie to you. I know people think when I see the little pumps and all this shit, I just think like that we got meth heads that run around everywhere. We got dope heads that run around everywhere. But my opinion, shouts out to Dewan B. He said just because y'all finally got y'all monetization back. Well, salute to you, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, D. We appreciate it.
But let me tell you something. I never told y'all this. I felt like when I was talking to Lupe, I said, this hip hop shit is dead. This rap shit is dead because this is supposed to be the supreme. These are supposed to be two of the supreme end of the artists, and we cannot have a higher mind artist have an honest conversation about another higher mind artist. When I go listen to,
I see people who who are tired of Ye, and I've even seen, and Ye has started his stuff up with Kendrick people.
Yeah.
But when people act like Kendrick people on X, I give them credit for that. They're like, no, Ye put out classic music. He put out classic rap albums.
Man,
that's what I'm saying. Like
it's lying.
It's like I just don't like what we're saying in rap music. Is so many people who are like just real quick. Blackjack said Jay-Z got a pass, and so did Beyonce. They never interviewed on Breakfast Club for pushback. Stop being dumb and stupid to the fat people.
About what?
I don't know what that person said.
Don't throw the conversation.
If you're saying that Jay-Z, Beyonce have their own past or skeletons, I'm sure they all do. We were just bringing up earlier that most of the hit pieces on rappers be from other rappers. That's it.
Oh yeah.
And execs. So that's what that be going on with information. But going back to what we're talking about lying, hip hop is a hating.
Yeah, it's a hating sport.
The rap music is a hating ass culture where even people who are elite, even if y'all don't like each other, why do you have to lie and not just say, like in other genres like jazz, which is mature, whether you like this person or not, I am a top tier jazz musician, artist. I cannot say that this person is trash, even if we don't get along. But to what we're saying here in rap, they do that all the time.
I'll give you an example. Because remember, I told y'all the example of Common talking about how cannabis, no MC that is classically he's a trash nigga. They don't say that. They listen to, no, this guy's does an advanced form of writing. All right. His vocabulary tank is expansive, right? Common in them, they said, no, the boy can spit. Used to have that. They're like, nah, man, I think he a trash nigga. I think he ain't shit, but nah, that nigga can go. I'm that person. Nigga, you call, I may not you. Nah, but I'm not gonna say you ain't shit, right? Give you another example. Rick James didn't, after a while, Rick James and Prince did not get along.
No.
He hated Prince. Hate that little motherfucker. I hate that little nigga. I hate him.
They hated each other, yeah.
But Rick James said he also got his style from me. But he still said the nigga cold though.
And for those who don't know, what he was saying is like that androgynous extreme, the handkerchief around the neck and all that.
Took him on tour.
You know, the bandana.
The little nigga stole from me. And you saw they put a half white little nigga up there. Prince wasn't even half white like that, right?
So he was saying how Prince Rick was out there saying he felt.
If I known that, I should have kicked his little ass off the stage, right? But see, again, that's because my folks are much older, though. You get what I'm saying? So I'm looking at like Lupe, like, yo, why y'all clowning me? I'm like, boy, you sound stupid. Like, I can't get you to have a dishonest conversation, Lupe.
Because
there's so much lying.
There is a foundation. Never use the structure. There's a structure and a foundation where people know there's a litmus, like, okay, this person in no way we can say is trash. In hip hop, there's no, even though there was a foundation created, nobody adheres to it. So people will be like, y'all, yeah, this motherfucker trash.
Oh, listen to what OVO ZZ said. She says, enough though. I love and adore Drake. I will admit swimming pools, DNA, God are good songs that I like. I'm not a hater like y'all hating on Drake all day.
See, Jeezy at it again.
But at least she says she like it. But she probably talking to the audience. You know, the audience be banging.
No, it's such a crazy about Drake. Tier lyrics like hating on each other, and ZZ got to back into it.
But listen to what she said though. She did say she admit DNA was a good song. No, I do want to bring up. I want people to pay attention to that moment. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very, as much as Lulu cut up, I'm very blessed to be a part of that moment with the years. But I still think he a dust head, right? But I'm very see that y'all see where we come from. That was an intellectually dishonest moment.
When we
that's at the center of what's the driving energy behind all the life. So if you tell me, if Lupe was up there as an esteemed, astute lyricist as he is, an authority in lyrics to have that type of conversation, then there's no wonder why people can run up and say Nas ain't shit to Jim Jones.
When we criticize T.I. for the Iggy thing, we ain't never said T.I. wasn't a supreme
lyricist.
T.I. is
that nigga switchblade on Ike.
Understated lyricist, and to this day
I'm illy.
He's still extremely sharp. But yeah, it's too much lying in hip hop, man.
People be lying.
They lie. No, it's too much lies. Too many liars.
That's what's killing rap. It's the lies. Stop. This is called true lies. It's true lies.
Like also over the years, how people had to admit that Diddy pushed a lot of whack music,
including himself.
Diddy can't rap.
Don't bother. I'm working.
Now,
he's in a big condom suit.
If Diddy was orchestrating performances and fashion, fine. But the lie is when people try to extend it, like, niggas was lying to Diddy. Oh my God, lie.
Yo, Diddy, you need to hold on.
Yeah,
man, you really need to cut Loon's verse and just keep yours.
Yo, Diddy, you a better rapper than Loon.
Oh man,
that's why people lose. Too many liars in rap. Diddy, you a fashionista, I give you that. Diddy, you can also perform really good live. That's it.
Don't bother me. I'm working.
You can't rap, can't write.
Don't worry if I write rhymes. I write checks.
And because people are dishonest, this is why we have so much bad music and rap. People don't want to say where people are great at and where they don't have it at. Like, come on. You heard what Jadakiss said? My soul. Jadakiss said his soul.
My soul was hurting every time I gave him a record.
So Jada, you really was burning inside like that when you was writing and borrowing for Diddy?
Yeah, and it's just like when I gave it to him, I just felt like something died inside the hospital. They say, you're too young for a heart like this. What's going on?
Jada was talking about how it felt.
My knees wouldn't move. I would have to knock on the door.
Because he know.
Diddy, I got another hit fall. It hurts. It hurts.
Jada knew Diddy couldn't rap. And he would turn something that would sound dope out of Jada's mouth. It comes out corny when Diddy did it.
Diddy, you want to try to say it a different way? That's not how I wrote it.
Oh man,
that's what's killing rap music, bro. What I'm telling y'all, bro, I'm talking to a supreme lyricist legend, and I'm hearing him lie to me about another supreme lyricist legend.
We saw people lie to us about Tekashi, lie to us about Diddy being able to rap, lies after lies after lies after lies after lies after lies. I'm gonna be honest. Personally, I listen to a lot of genres, a lot of musical genres. I would have to say the most lies about technical abilities or artistic gifts have come from out of rap. I'm sorry, it has the most liars. People would sit up here and lie and be like somebody like, "Ooh, man, they really got it," and they don't.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. The first time I saw, I heard Loon rhyming, and he had this very lucid flow. Right, and it felt a little bit like Mace, but it felt more like a cultural Harlem thing. Then he just wasn't there no more, and then Diddy was there, and I was like, man, Loon had a better voice, a better style, you get what I'm saying? And then when they put him on a track with the fellas or the women singing, it felt like an R&B record.
And also, people got to remember, appropriate opposition is good. The reason why music critics and people who are well studied was important. Whether you agree with them or not, they push artists to greatness. I disagree with some of the critics. They kept harassing Janet Jackson and talking about this and that. But guess what? She wrote a lot of Janet period, and then she wrote all of Velvet Rope.
It's a classic album.
I'm appreciative of the critics because it pushed. Remember what they said? Pressure create diamonds. They pushed and pushed, and Janet shut them all up. With Velvet Rope. Amazing album. My personal opinion, her best piece of work, even though she has other really dope albums.
Period is fire.
We used to have that in so I think people got to understand we have to have a balance between professionals.
What up, Brandy?
Brandy in the building. What's up, Brandy?
Hey, in the building.
I like to have a mixture of people who are just organically talented somewhere and actual people who went to universities and professionals. I like to have a blend of both. When hip hop is at its best, it's a blend of both. When hip hop is at its worst,
Diddy, here's another hit, man. Listen, man, you think you can go ahead and cut the budget for my next album? Man, I gave you 12 hits, man. 6 of them went diamond. Yo, who's this new nigga Loon? What's up, man? Let me grow my hair out. This crazy.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Y'all don't understand. As a kid, you can even see the difference. As a kid, I read all the music articles. The 4 that I would listen to the most as a kid: jazz, hip hop, R&B, and rock and roll music. And I would like to read all the editorials, and I would also like to, just really explore everything in those genres.
Forget about the literature culture that's gone.
But I will, which is very important. Yeah. But what I will say, when I, as a kid, only one genre all the time just made my jaw just drop, and that was jazz. Even the diversity in jazz. To see the Nicholas brothers, to sit there and watch old tapes and videos on Duke Ellington and on Cab Calloway to see, because Rosetta Tharpe also went into jazz, not just, of course, the origin of rock and roll music. And just to see, even like Ray Charles, because a lot of also jazz, the people who were in jazz was able to also do other genres as well. Because Ray Charles did jazz, he did country,
did
blues, so he just did everything. So when I watched the jazz era, it was some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. In fact, jazz was a genre to me that made people seem like they were superhuman, like abnormally gifted.
Yeah, and I'd leave it alone after a while. I'm not one of these people like, okay, well, I'm just done with the hip hop thing, but my ranking is always jazz number one, then like classical music, and then there's world music, and I put hip hop like 4. But
that tells you Prince is getting tired, because he used to rank hip hop higher, not above jazz, but he had it. It used to be. So he getting tired.
Because I don't think like nothing. I wasn't like rattled about anything, but I was more irritated about how it was that Lupe was lying, and I just feel like, bro, I don't really get that like too often when I'm watching other genres, because they'll just blackball somebody's career in another genre if they feel they're better than them. They will pull like, yo, can you not have him play at this venue, right? Okay, I got you, right, but. No, rap music, it just lies. It's even at the beginning, like when I'm just speaking about last year about how I felt about the art form. When I heard Mace sit up there and say, nah, Euphoria ain't it. I'm like, Mace, the production was better than the Oracle, and you got busy on Oracle against somebody that wasn't even lyrically on your level. Everybody knows Cam ain't lyrically on Mace's level when it comes to battling. I knew Mace was going to smoke Fabulous. Even when my friends was wagering bets at the barbershop, I said, Mace about to smoke the shit out of Fabulous. Fabulous ain't a good battle rapper. He can rhyme well. He can put them words together well, but he ain't no battle rapper. And when I see that, and because there's a bit of a duality with the Kendrick situation. All right, I'm just put this out here, and I'm speaking from an artistic standpoint because this tells you how bad it's gotten for folks. When you listen to Nas, It Ain't Hard to Tell, that was really, my older sister played that record for me. Because up until then, I think as a little boy, I was just listening to like jazz and classical music, right?
The poetry blew me out of the water. Like, it ain't hard to tell. Yeah. I excelled Dimperell. And he was just merging comic books and movies and politics and black history. The production was
fire with the Michael Jackson sample. It was the first record, that one in Hip Hop Hooray. My older sister played Hip Hop Hooray, and It Ain't Hard. And the energy. I think Tretch is an understated lyricist. I think he's one of the pioneers of some of the most complicated rhyming schemes that later becomes prominent in hip hop. I think he was actually ahead of his time lyric, but that's another story. But like when you think about how Nas or Lauryn Hill was rhyming, even on some of the singles that they had on the score. Like she was just smoking. Like these people that was rhyming with so much fluidity, it felt like Bruce Lee was going up the different towers in the game of death. And I'm not gonna lie to you all, the Lupe conversation pissed me off for a different reason. It wasn't that he kept trying to mute us while we was talking or he kicking people. I didn't care about that. It actually pissed me off for a different reason, because it's like, come on, nigga. This is supposed to be the Britannica side of the game. This is where when I'm getting to spaces, when I talk about the Kendricks, the Hills, the Lupes, I'm now officially in pure artist territory. I don't expect to hear lies.
Well, it's too much rebellious energy in the wrong way, because why are you doing all of that? Because it's not even necessary, and people want to be a rebel without a cause, and you get that a lot, unfortunately, in rap music, where you have that energy all the time. Also, What's up? Sabrina said, great show. Just found you guys. Love the message. Y'all gotta check out Live Mullah's Sinners album. Came out last month. It's amazing. Inspired by the movie Sinners. Beat pay homage to jazz and blues. We will definitely do that.
Out. Yeah. No, I just don't
definitely will do that.
Yo, and shouts out to Brandy Kane. She talked about you guys, like when I always used to hear how Tretch rhyme, like that's why now that part when Eminem, like when he said what he said about Tretch, and these are a few people that I heard talk about this, unfortunately, like, and that's when I said, bro, it ain't nothing here. There ain't nothing here. And I'm talking to fucking Lupe Fiasco about him lying about Kendrick in the Drake comparisons, right?
It's the Milo thing too, because he gonna say hip hop ain't cool anymore. Black people ain't cool.
Right.
Hip hop ain't cool because you're here. You're the reason why it's not cool. When I was a kid and I saw Lauryn Hill, Tupac, Nas, and all these different people, I was like, wow, this is a really cool genre. This is dope. You know, and I feel like of course, as a kid, I feel like I was part of it. You know, listening to Hip Hop Hooray Ho and all this other stuff, family and all that, very hip hop. My dad and mother had me dressed up in cross colors and all that. But the stupid bottom bitch talking about blacks and hip hop ain't cool. You're the uncool element. You are the corny element that is unfortunately here, that is corrosive to the fucking culture.
You look like a foreign single mama coming in the room with your pearls, and you talking about what's not cool. It's because you here. You done stanked it up. I throw this motherfucker out of here like Jazzy Jeff. And we ain't got people in the app and they swing. They ain't saying shit. They was about to give Tommy Richmond a pass. We called it out. He said, nah, that shit trash. Then he proved our point. I'm not hip hop. I don't want to be called a hip hop artist. Then he came back to try to apologize around after he lost the cloud in the wave. Like, hey man, listen, we got to keep this thing moving. You get what I'm saying? Some of them do need to go down to the bottom with the Titanic, because
they putting every trash and putting it under hip hop. And there's some vibe artists that are actually good. Some vibe albums that are good. I don't know if it was Raekwon or whatever. They was talking about subgenres. Like, yeah, in hip hop, we have to embrace subgenres just like in jazz and everything else. And one other thing I forgot to say about the rebellious energy. When in ragtime and in jazz, when blackface was challenged, jazz musician said, you're damn right. I'm tired of white people having blackface or black people being in blackface to try to get money at the expense of our culture. Do y'all know that decision is what saves jazz? Yeah. Imagine if jazz artists didn't have a backbone and that corny ass blackface shit was still going on.
Al Jolson was a prominent white man in blackface. Amos and Andy.
In 2025, we will all look dumb. I don't like in rap music when you be like, when you trying to clean that out so we can preserve ourselves.
Man, why y'all say that, man? Y'all trying to cancel them. Man, bro, man, I hate this era, man. Man, come on, have no standards, man. Fuck, bro. Who give a fuck about standards, nigga? The album dope.
Yo, Milo, that's my fucking, he's a cool white boy. He my homie.
Man, come on, man. He's a cool white boy.
Fuck your homie. He's stinking up hip hop. And y'all making hip hop uncool. Like, stop. Like, nobody wants this shit. When people saw that hip hop didn't have a backbone and they were allowing bottoms like Milo into rap, you think that it doesn't only turn off black people, but it also turns off people who are fans of the genre, period.
Because that's what I was saying about Tekashi. He ain't the only one, but he got a big mouth. You know, that's why when people was talking to me about the snitching culture and this and that, I said, hey, man, let that shit die. Y'all went, okay, y'all said Kid Cudi was a rat, right? Y'all justified everything with Tekashi, right? Some of y'all said he was snitching, but then some of y'all saw that he had clout, so then y'all flipped it around, right? You got to understand too, man, realistically, man, you can, like, if you're not black and you coming into hip hop, you can get a cosign from black legends. Even 50 Cent pushing his legendary energy behind Tekashi That was a big L in
You
hip hop.
cannot get no jazz artist to
Bro, you can't
co-sign
do that.
slop.
Look at how hard Aretha Franklin was on Alicia Keys.
And I love also, that's why jazz is very important culturally to me because of this. I just loved how they all said, we need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of this blackface. And hip hop, y'all need to get rid of the blackface. Y'all need to purge, please. Yes, if you want hip hop to thrive, even in the underground, to thrive,
y'all gotta have backbones.
You gotta have backbones and start getting rid of people. And there's two categories, of course: reform, and you need to go. Milo, there's no reform. Bye, bitch. You're not supposed to be here anyway. You're not even a Black American. I don't even know why you talk about whether Black people look cool or not. Shut the fuck up.
Where from?
He from
Where he from? Like Serbia? Where he from?
I think he's from the UK or something, but
wherever he from, I know his people suffering.
This is a guy who was pushing pedo.
Yeah, I know, saying, the hebephilia. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about that. We broke that down.
Yeah, multiple times. He was saying he was at Hollywood parties where they was having sex with young boys. I was rubbing out, and your punk ass didn't say nothing. So,
and we gotta get people out of here just because they have a British accent. No, I'm for real. That's another thing I'm tired of. If they saying something stupid, it's like y'all want to hear it because they got a British accent.
Yeah, white people was fascinated by him because he had a gay British accent. Yeah. It's like, bro, he's whack. Moving on.
And he's saying stupid shit.
He saying stupid shit.
Like,
thank you.
I'd rather listen to Mr. Bean talk.
This is not Slick Rick, who's amazing. This is not MF Doom. This is a boring ass, confused white boy who needs to go.
And his pearls get bigger every year.
Right. So there's a I think, and this is now where I'm going to just even further into my personal opinion. I think there should be two categories where there's a category where you just ignore altogether. And then there's a category of reform. Like, okay, you're part of the culture, but you got to do better. Like this is the particular thing you got to cut out. And also, I want to make this very clear. I'm not talking about people can't rap about the shadow side. People should be able to rap and make stories about the light and the dark, but it can't be with agendas of like little pumping on. It has to be actual, real artists.
Well, yeah. Look, y'all. It's just listen. It's unfortunate, but like I told y'all, there's a standard, and then it's shown up in the literature, and it's shown up in the commentary culture or the reporters on this culture, right? So, one reason why you have so many great books written about jazz is because, the standard is very high. It's a real art. It requires you to at the least pay attention to the flow of history, flow of music history, coming out of the South, coming out of New Orleans, coming out of Alabama, Mississippi. If you're talking about soul, if you're talking about things of this nature. I will say this, even though I disagreed with him last year, but the last phase of it is when we saw Michael Eric Dyson when he wrote a book. It's a dope book, Ray. You guys should check it out. It's called Born to Use Mics. And what he did was break down the science of like not only Nas's lyrics, but what hip hop means as an art form, but also he talked about the intricacies of the culture artistically, right? Does a great breakdown in there. You don't have a lot of people that are excited to write those books anymore because people, the art form has fallen flat. It's based on mediocrity.
There's going back to too many people lying because it's like you put yourself out there for these rappers and they're like, they just be lying.
Well, I mean, look, I wasn't expecting to hear that. Like I told you all behind the scenes when we hear certain things, but people aren't motivated. You remember at one point in time, even a little bit before Mark Lamont Hill's like prominent arrival on the scene, I'm talking about before where he is today. I'm talking about when he was just strictly a reporter or a journalist. Around that time, I would say towards the end or at the very beginning of the era, the Aaron McGruder era, right? When Aaron McGruder was speaking out and, he talked about Queen Latifah from, going from ladies first to bringing down the house. There's some of the points I disagreed with him on, but those forums, those summit forums was open for intelligent conversations and debates, right? So a higher, think tank academia conversation was having to do with, the positioning of, like, think about in the early 2000s, people's positioning, like, to see Flavor Flav go from Public Enemy 1 to VH1 as a reality show, and they felt like he was trashing up hip hop royalty, and it was a great conversation, and
he was.
And what happens is we go from Flavor Flav to the Tekashis now, and we have people lying about dope artists. Like, we have great artists that people are lying about. So I would say the early 2000s was a very interesting time in commercialism in hip hop, and the conversation surrounding the cultural critique or criticism of hip hop as well, having real honest conversations. Look, Nelly took his damn near Black Disney image and swiped his card through a stripper's butt crack on BET Uncut.
And also,
and there was a pushback at Spelman University because they said, hold on now, the Sisters Foundation here at Spelman University is based on something else, and sorry, Nelly, we can't get this done with you, right? He caught a big backlash behind it. And what happened, though, over time, people started making waves of criticisms towards industry plants, especially non-Black industry plants, and you'll see where the shift happens. So I'll just say this, I'm gonna let Sin go. You go from a situation where the women at Spelman said what they said about Nelly, and then, of course, unfortunately, you're all right, love. And unfortunately, his sister does.
That punishment, you should let a Black woman die just because you're disappointed with an artist.
Well, I think. Well, it was a little over. I just think a lot of Black women were fucking toxic. You know what I'm saying? And the wrath inside the home is going to be grand. Yeah, between those conversations that were being had, because now on the other side, there was a little too heavy-handed action because hip hop swings. But now let me tell you bullshit on. Now, even though I thought it was fucked up what happened to Nelly's sister.
It was I forgot. The real controversy was because he was saying women who were given the face was ugly, and it's just about your ass.
Yeah.
So the women got tired of their faces being called ugly, but butts is supposed to be valued.
Well, because remember, you had a lot.
It was a trash song. I'm just saying you could balance it with also still committing to the thing with the sister.
Well, look, but again, pop, you're gonna have those moments. Now, not the woman dying. I didn't, because that came later. Because his sister died, I think, some years later.
Well, he revealed that it was directly connected to that.
But when things go unaddressed in hip hop, remember now, women were coming forward and saying they had been raped by certain people, and people told them, "Bitch, shut up." You had the R. Kelly situation happen at the time, so there was a lot of storms concerning, just even what goes on with Black women and Black girls, Black pop.
Cabrio said, he got boycotted by all HBCUs at the time.
Yeah, but also people. This is what I tell you about your Black audience. You do have to pay attention to these things. I think just Nelly dropped the ball, and he let too many of them white people curate his image where he didn't read the room correctly.
It really was because the card.
Yeah.
And
the
lyrics. You are ugly. It was a slave thing because they was calling you ugly.
Must be asked because it ain't your face. I need a temp drill.
You're a boot
I need a temp drill.
And when they all talk that pimping stuff where you a boot, you ugly, you Black, but the value is just in your body.
But yeah,
I think sexuality in music is fine. People talking about sex is fine. Two other adults, we're all adults. But when you go and you start talking in a way of violation and those type of sins, like
that's what I said.
To your point, people are going to take offense to that.
That's where I felt the bullshit came in at. I saw the industry actively fight harder for Eminem, though. And I remember that being a kid at the time.
Eminem called Black women ugly and moon crickets.
I saw Russell Simmons then come out to defend Nelly. He didn't say, guys, I think it was just might have been a cultural, maybe, let's have a conversation. Nelly did even say at the time he was trying to have summits and conversations to see, how has he offended his women demographic, particular Black women. If you go back, you can look at this on, you might find loose articles about it. I want to be clear the reason why y'all see us move the way we move. I do remember the cancellation of Nelly through HBCUs. I'm in Georgia. I remember it was always talked about, right?
HBCUs did not cancel.
But Eminem, on the other hand, I actually saw people fight harder to preserve Eminem.
The entire hip hop industry. He called black people moon crickets. He said black women were bitches and hoes. He said black women, they can't be trusted. They just want money and they just want big black dick. He went on, and he also went in on a campaign with Lauryn Hill and said she was racist when she's never said nothing racist.
So when people look at like, you know, a Takashi, or even if you feel like there's some hypocritical shit, look, it's been going on for just even in the past 25 years.
And then he tried to clean his image with, this showed you he still has some issues, because he tried to clean his image by going on with Rihanna and like, oh, I'm with a black woman who's popular in the culture and all this other stuff. But then there was another audio leak that he was mocking.
Yeah, more tapes leak.
He said, I'll beat a bitch like Chris Brown if she gave me a STD.
Yeah, and that was the rumor they put out on Rihanna that she gave Chris Brown herpes.
Right. Yeah, and there's no evidence to show that. So he went out there, it was a leak audio. So to me, he was like, he forgot. But I'm like, see, y'all, fake. That's that whole industry, fake.
Well, but again, look, I'm just being real with you all. Like, my personal opinion, because I thought there were far more intelligent people curating the culture of journalism and the culture of conversation within hip hop a little bit more back then than what I see that people are elevated in the algorithm on YouTube today or the internet, right? People were having honest conversations about, like, you know, Nelly, Temp Drill, his image. But then they was going back to NWA. They was having conversations, and Sister Soldier was talking about it. It was like a real dialogue, right?
And also, I remember, real quick,
just to say this.
I think he would. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm just say this part here. What you say? You think
Nelly would have survived if it was just the card?
Oh yeah,
just to let people know.
Yeah. I know about the
After Dark beat cut. He would have survived the card thing. It's really because he said they were ugly, and it's just about the butt. But go ahead.
Okay, so but again, this is what I'm saying. Something right quick. The power to have, like, okay, if the community marches against you, they will, right? It happens, right? And it was something I was educated. That moment to me was very big for me. I was like, oh shit, man. Because my partners, you know, they were like big Nelly fans. I was like, no, I think this thing is getting louder because, you know, I went to the beauty salon with my mother, and the old women were in there talking about it. They like, and I heard them say, why would Nelly do that? And he said, what about
they
your
looked
face?
They looked at
right?
Nelly like a Romeo rap athletic guy.
Yeah, so they were talking about it, you know, and some of the women was like, you know, well, I don't know why he would say it. Well, it sounded like some pimping, trafficking shit to me, right? Well, I can't get with that. And then some women was like, I never liked Nelly, like they did GNX on Joe Budden podcast. I never liked. But then I remember when the Eminem thing happened. I remember Benzino holding a summit. He held a press conference, and he said, "Look, there's more tapes. It gets darker than this." This, that, third. And I was like,
Eminem stuff was very disgusting.
Yeah, and remember they said it was a bunch of tapes that didn't get released that really, quote unquote, saved Eminem's career.
And
right?
it showed you he didn't change much, because in 2011, when it leaked about what he said about Rihanna, then he being fake doing songs with her, and they said, "Oh, I forgot." Whatever.
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, and then again, listen, I don't know what goes on in Eminem's head at the time, drugs or no drugs, but I will tell you this. I did remember seeing the industry come out for Eminem.
Even against Mariah Carey.
I remember seeing it.
And they were trying to say Eminem is bigger than Mariah Carey. Not to me.
And remember, people don't know that M and Nelly kind of had an issue at the time because about who was selling more records. And Nelly said, man, look at him, man, bro, you know I'm flying, just like that. So, you know, you see things like that. But all I'm saying is that I do remember about where the picks were. And I seen that before. And remember, like, hey, man, y'all didn't see people really catch arrows, but I saw them work hard. In fact, it was part of what led to the Source's bankruptcy, because Jimmy Iovine made a phone call to all of his buddies that were in top billing position. He said it himself. Jimmy Iovine came out and said, no, I had them to pull all of the ads out of the Source magazine.
Jimmy Iovine.
He said this, pull Cadillac out, pull T-Mobile out.
Jimmy Iovine has been very disgusting in rap music. I just want y'all to know that.
Put Source magazine on a slim fast diet.
Let's not be fake. Jimmy Iovine, he's not a good guy. And he's not a good guy for our culture. He has messed up a lot of different things. But going back to what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. You know, Eminem had a lot of shooters. He had a lot of corporate shooters for him.
Eminem never had to really answer for what he did because everybody were they're just dick riders.
They held Nelly's feet to the fire. They told, I'll kid you not, there was places at time when Nelly was showing up and they told him, like, you have people screaming at him. Like, some of the women was like, you need to be held accountable. This, that, and third. Oprah Winfrey got on it. She talked about it. Oprah did talk about the Eminem shit.
Even with Eminem versus Mariah Carey did smoke him. We also talked about that. But also, if someone said, if you had to make somebody discography disappear, Mariah Carey or Eminem, I say Eminem. I don't even have to fucking think about that. Eminem.
Well, the boy, let me tell y'all something. No, I want y'all to understand something. They held, the reason why we say what we say, and the reason why I always talk like this concerning Eminem's presence right now and where it is. It's settled, but he still has been able to, do whatever, right? Ludacris was being, quote unquote, held accountable for making the record Move Bitch Get Out the Way. Ludacris was there to promote a movie for Crash. The movie Crash with Brandon Fraser. Oprah Winfrey decided to make it a hip hop question. She turned into a random hip hop summit about the word bitch, right? She didn't ask none of the other actors or actresses that they played in films that they were prostitutes, they were pimps, the other shit that they was going. She didn't ask them, why did you play this role? She asked Ludacris, who was there as Christopher Bridges, the actor. She was addressing Ludacris, the rapper. He's not here to promote an album. So I thought that was lame, right? So Ludacris' feet was held to the fire about Move Bitch, Get Out the Way. All right, fine. Y'all on this shit. Cool, whatever. Nelly, feet held to the fire. Fine, cool, whatever. I remember watching the Eminem thing happen in real time. And I leaned back in my chair. I said, I wonder if Oprah's going to talk about this. This is going to be a conversation. Nothing happened. Russell Simmons came out and said, Eminem's a good friend of mine. He's not a racist. Russell Simmons you get what I'm saying? Well, I have to tell him he had a better image.
Yeah. Russell Simmons went out there and also told Donald Trump he could say the N-word. So Russell Simmons is a clown.
And remember,
also, Jackpot said Nelly tip drill hook came from DJ Jimmy.
Okay, then. So, all right. So that makes sense then. But I'll tell you this. Look. I'm just bringing this up so it don't get lost in conversations here. The reason why we're telling you all, it's been cooked 25 years ago. The early 2000s is a very important era as to why things look like they look now. And I remember that every black rapper that said, that cursed, that did anything, and that's fine if we're going to have these conversations. Ice Cube was brought to the fire when he came back with raw footage. That's why he said he made the record Gangsta Rap Made Me Do It, right?
Yeah, he had that issue also with Khalid Muhammad back in the day, yeah.
But him and Oprah, he was talking about, you go kiss Oprah's ass, I'm not Gail, because he was letting her know, like, look, I don't care. Because remember, Oprah invited the entire cast of Barbershop. She didn't invite Ice Cube on purpose.
Oprah is a scammer,
right?
Though. So people should know that by now. She switches up. This hip hop is deplorable, sexual. Well, I'm shaking my ass to Cardi B.
Well, but the point is, at the time, you guys got to remember, she had a power over white women in America during prime time. So what she would do is bring. It's the same shit.
Look at the blackies.
Yeah. It's the same shit that when Candace Owens was bringing black culture to racist white folks, and then turning it into a minstrel show or taking things out of context to push an agenda.
Even when she said black people use slavery to not be criticized, just like Jews use the Holocaust. Bitch, stop it. You know damn well no black Americans got no damn Palestinian situation.
They don't have no reparations.
And black people get criticized every fucking day. Yes. And we're doing constructive criticism right here about hip hop. I hate fucking liars. Stop trying to group black people with everybody else. Black Americans and Jewish people is not the same thing. Black Americans don't have a state of Israel. There's no Black American Palestinian thing going on. And I'm so sick and tired when people try to do that retarded straw man shit when it only sounds good to people who are slow.
Well, it sounds good to white people who have biases. That's why I said, no, Candace is doing baby Oprah politics. If Ludacris is there as Christopher Bridges, the actor, most of the white women and a few of the Black women that are allowed in the studio, in the Oprah studio, right? Harpo Studios, most of them just see a Black guy on stage with braids in his hair, right? So they don't know nothing. A lot of them didn't even know who the fuck Ludacris was. Remember, just to show you how big, Nelly was bigger than Ludacris. Ludacris was a big deal, but Nelly was bigger than Ludacris. So that's why it reverberated the way it did.
White women. You didn't know. I'm not going to speak on Harvey Weinstein. No. The biggest threat to all of you is hip hop.
Move, bitch.
That's like, Oprah, why didn't you have no breakdown of Harvey Weinstein and what they were doing in the movie industry? Why you didn't talk about? She never had.
But she didn't. She didn't look. Oprah Winfrey at the time. Look, y'all. She didn't have an open summit about Eminem and the Moon Cricket tapes bashing Black women. No, Ludacris, we're going to get on you for talking about you and strippers in a club. What is pee popping?
You know, Oprah and them, all of them know what's going on.
Hey, come on now.
Imagine Oprah talked about Epstein back then. Man, they would have killed Oprah.
Yeah, so
if she would have back then when she
would have had a plane crash. Plane would have dropped out. Oprah Winfrey died in a plane crash. What?
Let's talk about in Hollywood how they all are connected to Jeffrey Epstein.
She not doing that.
Today we have sad news. Private jet has crashed.
It hit the side of Mount Rushmore. What? Damn, that's a freak accident. I know.
She went at the easy target.
Yeah. So when she said that, the reason why I'm letting y'all know it's about clout chasing. So just like when Candace went to her white audience at the time and she was highlighting aspects of Black culture, but dysfunctionalized it in front of biased, racist, unintelligent white folks, Oprah did that for 30 years, y'all. Oprah did that for 30 years.
She was good at it. She was gas under her thumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. People only recently realized
she got y'all first Black president.
How much? Yes, she did. People only now know that Oprah is a scammer. Oprah been a fucking scammer. That's why there a lot of hustling Black people at the time admire her hustling, and she was cherry picking what to talk about and what not to talk about.
I came to YouTube and I saw all these intelligent, gorgeous Black women. They're writing their think pieces on Oprah and why, as a Black woman, she's motivated me. I said, Oprah, a nigga. That's a scamming ass nigga. We were the first ones to pop on YouTube behind Paul Mooney. But
Paul Mooney
we came after Paul Mooney.
We
came way after Paul Mooney.
We came way after, but Paul Mooney.
How my family grew up, my mother looked just like Oprah. Y'all, just to be clear, my mother looks like Oprah, right? And everybody know that lady was an old scamming ass woman.
Oprah, major scammer, major gaslighter, all of. And I remember as a kid, all the Black women, everybody admired Oprah. And, you know, Oprah is just so great for our community. I mean, as a Black woman, I just aspire to be right there.
You know, the first time we started cracking jokes on Oprah, the Black girl magic girls, the magic chat.
When we first,
and I love this man and Black woman, but we will not talk about Mother Oprah.
Can you stop saying that Oprah is having sex with Gail? Okay, guys?
True.
It is not true.
Oh, Gail, put it in my mouth.
That's right.
That's it.
So, yeah, Oprah's just a scammer. That's why. And then y'all, they were crying when it was too late. They said, "Man, Oprah, you went against hip hop. Why are you dancing to Cardi?" She looked at like
stupid niggas.
Yeah, I'm off that now.
Welcome to the niggaverse.
Right. Chris Rock even told y'all she a nigga.
Yeah, Chris Rock said, "Yo, Oprah." He said, "No, man. When she drinks, she walk around the mansion cursing."
In fact, she got more in common with the scamming ass rappers.
Come on, man.
She literally, they asked her when she was doing the Cardi B twerk and all that. They said, "Oprah," I thought, and she looked at them like, "Bitch, so what? You believed it?"
Why do you think she ran with Jay-Z so much? Oh,
Jay, we should have gotten together earlier. I didn't know you was like this.
That's crazy. Yo, you a real nigga. Oh, Jay, say it to me one more time. Oprah's a real nigga. Babe, look at this.
Right? Oprah's about the money. But I would say finally black people caught on, because by the time she was on to her next hustle with Michael Jackson, by then, thankfully, finally black people caught on. Because if Oprah did this expose in the 90s and early 2000s stuff, they would have been eating out of her hands.
It was a bigger risk too.
Right.
Because Michael was, you know, when she said, what did Oprah say?
It's time to cancel Michael Jackson. It's time's up.
I say, yeah, man, it's over for Oprah.
And she was a media hit person. She's a mercenary. I was like, thank God black people finally caught on that's what Oprah does. She does campaigns.
Well, also,
and she gets and she's for the money.
Hey man, listen, all you gotta do is what is it? What's Paul Mooney's comedy album? I think it's Race War, Race Play. It's the one where he got the gun in the air and he got like the three white men. They about to run and shoot or something like that. But y'all should hear his bit about Oprah Winfrey. It's classic. It's definitely classic.
Very funny material.
Man, nah, man, listen, look, it's just what it is. But yeah, but I remember the Nelly conversation. And mind you, black women in, Atlanta was having that. Some of the ladies, some of the younger girls are like, well, I don't think they should be canceling my boo Nelly. The college girls that was at Spelman, they was like, yo, that's it. We done. We had enough of these rap niggas, right? And
this is a national issue.
It's an outcry, right?
Yeah, Oprah, it was like
remember the
World War III.
The conversation bled on from Nelly because guess what else it went into? Domestic violence in hip hop. It did. It did.
Oprah was milking the shit out of that.
I'm telling y'all, that when Eminem shit dropped, silence. I was like, wait a minute. So nobody's talking about this. This is a big deal. The man holding a major magazine that sold across America and globally, actually at the time, just had a press conference.
There you go.
And that shit went away.
Even when you have Rhymefest who
oh my God,
defeated Eminem in the battle, he said Eminem called me a nigga and it was amazing. I just had to respect it.
I ain't got nothing to say about Rhymefest, man. I'm gonna leave that alone because that was a crazy conversation, and we already heard some
so stupid.
We already heard some wild shit. So when he made that face,
it was like ecstasy. Like, wow, Eminem called me a nigga.
These are the black guys that would be on the Joe Rogan podcast in the back. Okay. Because he said, and when we heard it, because you heard them play it, right? When he said, let the razor hit you, you turn my facial features into a racial issue. I didn't hear the word nigga. Did you? When they played the clip back?
He said something with that before that part, that Eminem called him nigga. I don't know why he enjoyed it, but
it was like he was so talented adult, Shirley Temple, that I see hills of blue,
red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you.
I think there's something bigger, and it's Slim Shady calling me a nigga.
What a wonderful world. Imagine also perfect. Let's have Bill Clinton on the saxophone.
And he's about to say, I'll cool that white boy. I'll cool that white boy.
Actually, the first and only time I saw jazz people lie.
Mike Tyson, didn't keep trying to touch his ass.
And Russell Simmons is such a disappointment. Def Comedy Jam, hip hop meets comedy was so good. Also, V for Vendetta,
Nobody
the
knew
video
that
game.
these niggas hated being black.
I did. Man.
I never thought when I saw like Big Bruce, I'm not saying him, but people that be behind setting these things up. Yeah.
You know what's the first time I realized, oh, he's a coon, is that Harriet Tubman skit. And from then on, just revelations just kept getting worse about him. I'm like, damn, like he told Trump
like
can say that.
Tyler tweets.
Trump can say that. Trump can say the N-word, allegations of rape,
even Trump
raping women, allegations, and even some allegations of raping men.
You know what's fucked up about it?
What?
I remember when the scandal happened, and Russell Simmons said, I think it was in a magazine, and he was like, "Y'all most kind of like Donald Trump's my nigga," and Trump says, "Why would you call me that?" And I said, wait, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Hip hop been getting cooked for a long time. It's just that the audience is now seeing how lame these infiltrators are. Because before in the 90s and also the early 2000s, things were really cool still overall. So people was like not really seeing things, but my goodness. All right, we're about to close up shop, everyone. Any last words, Prince, you want to say? Because I want to get something to eat.
But we'll be back. We'll do some. We'll set something up for you all. We'll be revisiting on some other angles as well. Sin did a good job on opening up the Blackout stream. I always like to crash into him at every now and then.
You know, Black Americans who be dissing Harriet Tubman, it doesn't be ending well for them.
Hey man, she ancestor.
Yeah, Russell had to flee to another country.
Look, and so did Kanye. Hey, listen, man, and you know what?
I was like, stop talking crap about Harriet Tubman. Let that be a lesson
to y'all. Do y'all really believe? Some of you all are so silly. You don't even know if you related to any of these people. And you're gonna sit there, so you think they're gonna let you diss them, and they don't got no spiritual cut back?
We're gonna keep this up as unlisted, guys. So it's gonna be unlisted for y'all. So it's still gonna be somewhat up. Just make sure you save the link so you could come back to it later.
I'll still upload it and I'm gonna put it on the free tier on Patreon for y'all. All right. Okay. So if y'all can't access it, I'll put it on the free tier on the Patreon and let y'all check it out. But no, there's a lot of different people. I know what will be a source of convenience. People want to blame North, Midwest, the South, or the West Coast. But y'all saw we went back 25 years. We told y'all where the books were already getting cooked at. Before we even get to what's happening now is millennials then got older and some of the Gen Zers are getting older too. And they're stopping to look at everything like, yo, what's going on? Because the fact that Russell Simmons, let me tell you something. And this is why I knew Russell Simmons was a lame ass squirrel rat. Let me tell you why.
He do look like a little squirrel rat.
Yeah, he
also shout out to Haven and you take care as well. She said it's already Halloween in the UK. Happy Halloween to everybody out in the UK right now that listens to the show.
Oh, I'll just say this last part before we get it going. You used to routinely see, Russell Simmons make provisions for other groups and atrocities when it comes to their situations. I remember when they asked him in a legitimate interview with a reporter, he was sitting down. They asked him about this backlash he's been getting online with this Harriet Tubman skit. And Russell Simmons said, I still think the skit was funny. And I was like, man, you're a piece of work.
Piece of work. Also,
it's a piece of work, player.
Dre 7 said Big L dropping tonight. Yeah, it look like Joe Budden gonna be on there.
Joe Budden is on there.
That's what they said. We'll see.
What? Is it really Joe Budden on there or people trolling Joe?
We'll see. And Primo and Ransom also. So
if Ransom on there, then Joe Budden is probably on there.
Well, Primo and Ransom.
Oh, you said Primo and Ransom, their album together. Yo, Ransom, man, I've been liking them tracks Ransom been dropping.
Fire tracks. And
Ransom was dope.
Then we're going to get the Big L, so. And Dre said, yeah, Joe Budden and Jay-Z on there. So, you know what? We'll make a Saturday event to listen to that.
Well, Joe Budden could spit, despite talking all this stuff. No, he could get busy on the mic now. I want to hear what he got to say.
We did try to instigate him to. I was like,
you do
do that
because we said all the old MCs out
to respond back to Eminem back in the day. I think we got close to the door, and then he decided not to do it. So because we was just like, respond, Joe Budden, respond back to Eminem. We think you're better than him.
Yeah,
I do still think lyrically he's more consistently better than Eminem.
I think Eminem, if Joe Budden really dropped a diss record back then during the Slaughterhouse era, I think Eminem would have tried to ignore it.
Dre said that he definitely going to talk about the think tank, laughing my ass off. You can't touch the think tank. Yeah, we're going to be checking out Hit Boy and Alchemist as well. I like their chemistry together. All right, everyone. We appreciate y'all, and we're out. Peace.